Morning. Go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and record though. So this is March the 23rd, right? March
23rd
the
po.
23rd, and I think this is our 68th or 69th meeting. I don't know, but anyway. So welcome everyone. I know we're gonna get more, but we're just gonna go ahead and talk to whoever's here so far. Myrna and Joel, thank you for being here. Girly and John. John is here. Joanne, thank you. Catherine.
Good morning, Doc.
Morning. Good morning. Oh, these two power couple over here also passed TOEFL. Ian got their U.S. license. Awesome. Yeah. Which state did you do? Was it Maryland or Illinois?
Is it Illinois? It's in Illinois, Doc.
That was easier. What were the requirements for them?
They just asked for our PRC license, the one in the Philippines, then the foreign credential, the FCE, and that's it. And then after that, then the process, we waited for the process, and then we just answer a few questions for us to give us the certification.
Wow. So Illinois is easier then, and then was it free?
No, what come again, Doc?
Was it free or did you have to pay a little?
We have to pay for that.
Yeah, the first payment was
$130.
$130.
Then another
And then
$60
after the if you want to register your license, that's about $60 again.
Okay.
So
it's okay, but it's worth the payment.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you're pretty much ready. We are
Yeah,
still
I'm
waiting
just,
on our LCA, huh?
Yeah, I'm just happy with their evaluation. According to the certificate, I can teach. I am allowed to teach general science from grade 5 to grade 8, then physics from biology grade 8, then grade 9 chemistry, then 10, 11, 12 for physics.
Awesome. You got lots of things there.
Same with Joel. Joel is electronics and physics, right?
yeah, for technology, it's from grade 5 to grade 12, technology. And then for physics, it's from grade 9 to grade 12.
Okay. Very good. Looks like the more things that you have there, the less things that you have to take on your praxis. So sounds like you're ready to go. Looks like you might not have. I don't know if you have to take something though on praxis part. I don't know. You'll have to find out. But I'm pretty sure if you already have that licensure, you don't have to take it unless you want to do other levels or other areas. So anyway, Diana is here. Thank you for coming, Diana. You're not watching the store today, huh? And,
hi, Doc. Good morning.
Morning. Jaymar is here. Pinky, thank you for coming. And of course, Girl is here. And Giselle. Giselle, what's up with you?
Hello, Doc.
Okay, your baby's okay. Yeah, your baby's how old now?
They'll be turning 2 this June, Doc.
Oh my gosh, it's been that long. I remembered you just had them. we were having these, so yeah. Well, I've got remember I was talking to you all about the perimeter healthcare. She was waiting for approval from her board, and she finally emailed me and said we actually got it approved now. So then I asked her, so tell me again how many people you need. So so she asked me if it's really too late to apply for this coming school year, and I said no, it's not too late, but you have to tell me what you need, because I remember them needing a bunch of special ed. So when she tells me, then I think I did remember that it was a bunch of special ed that she needed 4 or 5 of them, but when I get to know the actual thing, I will send it to everyone, to those areas. If she wants special ed, I'll just send it to the special ed folks. But anyway, so I heard from her, and then Stacy has not done her interviews because she said she wanted to wait till after spring break. And we are still, this is kind of spring break is done. I mean, gone. This is a weekend after spring break now, but anyhow. So Lovely Gabison, are you new? Because I know we have at least 3 Lovelies here. Lovely's talking. Lovely? Yeah, where are you from? You have a picture? I mean, do you have a camera? We're still 8 minutes early, actually.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah. Hey, lovely. You're new, right?
Yes, Doc. I was referred by Sir Ken.
Okay, Ken. Okay, you're from Napo?
I am one of his subordinates from ALS. The position he had before flying to US. He
Okay.
was an EPS of ALS for, I think, for just less than 5 months.
Okay.
And then
So
he
you're in
flew
Karkar
to
though?
US.
Lovely, are you in Karkar?
Yes, still. Yes, yes. Doc.
Okay, where do
Karkar
you
City
teach?
Division.
Where are you teaching in Karkar?
I teach in ALS, Doc, Alternative Learning System.
Gotcha. Okay, ALS, I don't know if that was like another school when, okay. ALS is alternative. Here is called AL.
Yeah, as far as I know, the one that similar to US with ALS here is the JED program in the US.
JET.
I think GED.
Oh, GED?
Someone told me. Yeah,
GED program?
it is similar to ALS.
Because
Our
alternative here is like those kids that misbehave, or those kids that either got pregnant, have babies, or when they needed a different place to study. But GED is different because those are the kids that did not finish high school, and they're taking classes in order to take their GED, so they don't have to get their diploma. They just get GED. So is that what you have? That's what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So
some
that's
of
not
our
called,
students are mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not called the alternatives here. They're called just GED program, because the alternative, when you say that, the alternative learning environment is actually for kids that are like cannot function in the classroom at all, or
that's the difference.
Yeah, what's the difference? Yeah. So anyway, well, welcome to our meeting. I'm glad you attended.
Thank you, Doc.
I don't know why it says I have another meeting in 5 minutes. I may have 2 things here going. But anyway, so well, we have 18 people now. Last time we had like 40 something or 50 something. I don't remember. But anyway, so that's nice to see a few folks. Candelaria is here. Candelaria, welcome. There's a Lysad. You are new. I don't recognize you. And Charlotte, Barcelona. Erwin is here.
Yes,
Erwin. Hello.
Hi po everyone.
Who is this? Yeah, Candelaria is here. Candelaria, it's been a long time since I've seen you again.
Yes, Doc. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm back again because
I sent you a bunch of links, guys. Did any of you visit those links and apply? Did you all get that? Well, I sent you a job posting link for the different states.
Yes po. And I also sent it po sa GC po daw.
Yeah, I wonder if any of you all, applied to that, because there's a lot, like those are the ones with schools that have a lot of openings. I put 10 plus, 20 plus, 100 plus, there's a lot of openings in those places. So if you all would click on that, I don't know, Mike, you are the host, Mike. I don't know if you could open that for them and share it so they could see what I'm talking about, Mike, please.
I'll check po. I will open it.
Yeah, see if you can do that, because I want everybody to see. So if they did not get it, we need to send it to them. Joanne is saying that she's need to change her PC. All right, Joanne. I hope you did. So Mike is trying to get that job posting thing that I sent everyone. So if you are here and you did not get that, that means that you're still not in my distribution list. So make sure that you tell me, because
Doc, can you see my screen po?
I can, but you need to, if you don't mind, to open the open that mail, and then open that email Gosh, Mike, you have 532 things in your inbox. I can't stand that. I have to file mine. So you're gonna open
Ito
that,
po.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
So, like po,
It's kind of big, Mike. I don't understand why it's so big. Did you make that big on purpose?
hindi. Wait lang.
So that one that Mike is trying to open is a job posting lately that I got
Yeah.
from the different websites
Ano po,
in the
Doc?
States.
Can you see my screen po?
I see your screen of your email, but it's not opening. I mean, you have to open the
Okay.
attachment if you don't mind. So you are in the right email though, I think.
Yes po.
Oh.
Apo.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, Lovely Gabisan is asking what do you do in order to be included in my distribution list? You have to send me your resume and your cover letter. And then I'll include you there. So those two things I have to have. Because when I get that, then you will be in my list that will have the link to those paperwork. So if some administrators want to invite you for an interview, they'd have those two things. Okay, it would look like this. It's got a job posting from the different states, and I put down here on. Can you make that bigger now, please, Mike?
Yes po.
Like column B has how many teachers they need. For example, in Arkansas Siloam Springs, they need 10 plus, you know. So I put the Arkansas ones that still have their needs, like in North Little Rock, they have 10 left. Usually there's a lot more. But in Jacksonville, 20 plus, Little Rock, 20 plus. Looks like California, they need like, you know, that particular one in LA needs more than 100 plus. So California is expensive to live in, but it's really nice, like the Philippines. Email, Lovely, Gabison, you want my email, is my last name. So McCullough, Merlina@gmail.com. So just look at my last name and then first name at gmail.com. No dot or anything. Okay. So he look at Kentucky. Kentucky's got more than 100 plus just in this particular, in this Jefferson County one is, I went to that one. I was one of the accreditation visitors in the team for them. That's a real good school in Kentucky. Louisiana, this is one of the bigger, you know, more than 200 there. So I kind of just chose the state that are close to Arkansas, and except,
Yes,
you know,
it's
California is
close.
far, but California needs a lot of teachers. That's why I put it there. And also their
Mississippi.
weather, yeah, their weather is very similar to the Philippines. And Mississippi's got 20 plus on that particular one, but the Mississippi, yeah, Missouri, Springfield,
Missouri.
plus New Mexico needs a
Baka
lot. Like
needed
that
ng mga
particular
teachers
one
sa
is 100 plus.
gawas.
Look at Nashville,
100,
Tennessee.
na iba 100 plus elementary.
Yeah, it's elementary and high school. I just kind of put like Texas, this particular one in Texas. And so anyway, I just kind of chose the ones that I thought that might be a good school for everyone. So so I hope that you do try this. Say, look at Arizona's got some too. So I started with just one at a time, but I thought, well, you know what, it's too tedious to just do one at a time. So I just started looking at their whole website to see how many they need. That way you can just like click on that link. Like can you click on the Arkansas Little Rock one, Mike? number,
This one
yeah,
po.
number 18, yeah. If you don't mind to click on that. So if you click on it, then it will take you to this to their website. So you just scroll down. There you go. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and then you could see all this. And so you see that one on apply at the end. So Mike, find a job there that you wanna, might somebody might want to apply, middle school or high school, elementary.
This a resource. Yeah, I can apply here. Resource.
Okay. So if you want to apply, hit apply on the end, please, Mike. Find one.
Okay.
Hit apply.
And yes po. And I guess they need to create their account there.
Yeah, you
They
have to
need to
create an
create.
account. Yeah. But once you create an account, anytime that you see this particular program, then you won't have to recreate again, even if you apply to another state. So you might have to create it one time. So yeah. So there's what did they say to apply it? Mike, apply it here, right? It said qualification.
Yes po.
And then so apply for this position. You have to click on this, apply for this position. What happens if you click on that on the top right, Mike? Apply for this position. Yeah. What happens? Then you have to do your email. Yeah, you can put your email and then to log in, or you have to sign up right here. If it's your first time, you have to sign up. Yeah. New application, log in the pink. There you go. Just follow directions, really, is all you do. And a lot of these places, they just really need your resume and cover letter. They usually do not need anything extra. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have my passport, so I cannot apply yet. No, apply already, because that way you'll have opportunity to be interviewed. And so so where do you go next? There you go. So you do that. They tell you how to do a new sign up. So anyway, just follow directions, and every one of them will be totally similar, right, Mike? Yeah. So if this is the first time, there's even a video that they have, and so on. So anyway, they make it pretty easy.
Yes po.
So I want to wish everyone the best on that. And if you there's also one that I actually have of every of the 50 states, but I don't know how easy it is for Mike just to find it in his file, but I also have one that says job posting, Mike, that should be in your file somewhere. If you saved it, it would say job posting, and it will have all the 50 states. So how hard is it to find it under job posting?
I'll check.
Maybe in your drive, huh? So what I'm trying to say is that this is just a sample of the different states that are closer to Arkansas, but there are other states that if you want somewhere very cold, like if you look at the US map, anything close to Canada on the north, like Maryland and New York, and then they will be very cold. So these ones that I picked for you are actually the warmer states. So, but if you want it cold, you need to look at the northeast part of the United States, like where those Maryland on down, I think North Carolina, South Carolina will be a little warmer already, but
Doc,
there it is. This is the one I'm talking about. Make it bigger, please, Mike. So it will have all the different states in ABC order. See, look, and this one here is got Arkansas. Nope, that's the old one. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, I put this one in with that whole file, Mike. This is page 1, and I separated it. I should just have left that one, but anyway. So if you just click on the tab, you look at the tab, find the tab for another state, Mike.
Yes po.
There's Alabama. See, you go to the next one. There's Alaska. So what I did was I took the top 10 biggest schools in every state. Really is what I did. Some of them had more than 10. So you just go down there and click on like Arizona. Let's see, what's the capital of Arizona? Phoenix. So do I have Phoenix there? I thought I did.
Phoenix.
Maybe I didn't. Do Tempe.
Wala po.
Like the number 20. Do Tempe. I think Tempe would have a bunch.
Tempe. This one po.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see what they have. Click on that and then see what they have. They would, most schools have already published what they have. So you can look on the left here under vacancies. I have glasses now. Yeah, so they still have like certified positions. They still need 25, right? 25 or 26. Anyway.
Yes po.
Yeah.
26 po.
Yeah, so make sure you look under certified, because when they say classified, that means, you know, those paraprofessional and all those folks that do not have their teaching license, so do not go under classified. You need to make sure you go under certified. Okay, so don't go to summer employment or anything like that, because you really need the ones that, yeah, there it is, teacher. It tells you PE, math, foreign language. So looks like some special ed, 5 special ed. When they say teacher performance arts, what would that be? Let's click on that and see what it says. Let me go, the number 3, number 5th one. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah. It's like
Oh, those are the choir and all this band and all,
Yeah, choir.
anything relating to music, I guess, right?
yes po.
If you're a music teacher, it might be under performance arts. That's what they seem to have put it. So what happens if you hit apply on this? Would it be the same as what you did earlier? I wonder, Mike, because it's frontline.
Yes po.
Is it the same?
It's the same po. You need to create an account
Create an
po.
account. So if once you've created the account, then Mike, you don't have an account?
I don't know po. Parang I guess I have.
Okay. I figured you have an account anyway. So yeah, so it's pretty easy. So if you have this, if you don't, Mike, do you mind putting the link to this 50 states one to and on the chat? And that way they can have it.
Yes po. Yes po.
Yeah, because some of our new ones will not have this. I've sent this a long time ago, but you know, this website will always be the same for this for the schools. So you can always check this because it could change. They could add things to it, but it's always gonna be the place where they put their jobs available. So if I were you, I would go and choose the state that you will want to go to, and then apply, because it takes you straight to the place that they have their advertisements of their job openings. So it took me a long time to get those put together. So you might want to take advantage of that by using it. So, okay, Mike, I think we're done with it. So yeah, so you just have to follow directions, right? You just follow and do what
Yes
they
po.
want. And
Follow and follow.
and usually at the end, you would say submit or something, I think is what they would say. So yeah, follow directions. And would most of them already ask? Yeah, I think most of them would already ask for you to upload your resume and cover letter. So you may want to check your cover letter, make sure that you do not have it specific to another school. So you may want to, before you upload it, edit it and make sure that you put it to you know, the address that they put in there who are to send your paperwork to. Sometimes it could be an human, you know, resource person, HR person, or sometimes it might be a principal, or it might be a superintendent. So if it is a superintendent, usually that means it's a small school. If it's an HR, usually that's a big school, because, you know, little schools would not even be able to afford a human resource person. Usually they, you know, they put extra hats to people who are already there, but they won't have like an HR department or anything. So only bigger schools would have that. Okay, question from, oh, there it is. Mike already, thank you, Mike, for sending that. So if you need to open your chat and copy and paste what Mike did on the chat and put it on a new document for you, or email it to yourself, whatever you want to do. And then that way you'll have the file. And I encourage you to start applying, because it's most of the schools, I know in Arkansas, all of schools in Arkansas is having a spring break, but the other states might not be. So they will be actively looking and trying to get you know, applicants to interview. So the more that you apply, the better for you. If you did put me down, please limit it to 2 or 3. I do not want to be called for 10 or 20 people. If for one person, 20 20 schools trying to get for one person, and that is not fair to the others. So 2 or 3 would be all that I want you to put my name down. And don't put my name down unless I've talked to you, that I kind of would know you. Otherwise, I would say, I don't know that person. Anyway, so make sure that you have already kind of have your introduction with me, and we know you have already, I kind of know you already. So talking about that, let's go to the ones that are new here. This is now officially starting, right? 10 minutes already down. So far we have 32 people. That's very good. So Mike, I'm gonna have you or somebody, whoever, I think, to call if there's a name there that you recognize as new.
Yes, po.
You and Giselle are, and Joanne are good at that because you've attended a lot. Candelaria, you're welcome. He said thank you. Okay, so who do you want to talk to first?
Okay, so we start with Sir Romel Santiago. I guess he's new.
Yeah, go ahead and do three people at a time, Mike.
Yes, po. Sir Romel, and then Ma'am Edlin. Is it
Okay.
Ma'am Edlin? Yes, and another male. Look for another male. It's Lionel. Sir Lionel Kabungkal.
Okay. So Romel,
Yes, po.
Edlin, and Lionel. So go ahead, Romel. Romel, tell us about you. Give me an elevator speech about you. 1 or 2 minute speech about you. Like, who are you? And don't include your personal, just put your name, your your degree, and number of years of experience, and teaching philosophy, and why you want to come to the US. Those are pretty much the basic things I would like to.
Do you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, we
Hello,
hear you.
sir.
Can you turn on your camera?
For a while, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm looking for the signal po kasi, ma'am.
Oh yeah. If you have where are you at? What part in the Philippines?
I'm from Quezon City, ma'am.
Okay, your internet there should be okay, right? You're not in the province. No? Oh.
Yes, ma'am. I'm from the city of Quezon City.
Yeah.
Here in Metro Manila po, ma'am.
Right. Is in the internet pretty stable there?
I hope so po, ma'am. Pero ma'am, ito na po.
Yeah, there you are. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on.
This is my first time po to attend the orientation or in this group po. I've been teaching po. First of all, I'm Romel Santiago po.
Mm-hmm.
First experience po, I'm teaching grade 6.
Okay.
From Commonwealth Elementary. I have 7 years in teaching grade 6 MAPE po.
7. Okay.
Then during 2019 August, I transferred in senior high school to prepare or to explore more in teaching PE po, ma'am.
Okay. But what's your degree? What's your degree in high school or elementary?
I finished po bachelor in elementary, major in MAPE po. Music, art, PE, health, and music, art, PE, and health po, ma'am.
Okay.
Then currently, I'm teaching grade 11 and 12 since 2019 po up to present po. Physical education and health.
Oh, okay. So you're a PE teacher right now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then yeah, go ahead.
I'm currently coaching team sports, ma'am, like basketball, volleyball, and individual dual also, ma'am, like badminton and table tennis.
Okay. Okay.
I have also my master degree in physical education and sports. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Why did you want to come to the US?
Actually, ma'am, this is my first time to attend what kind of this group, ma'am, orientation or a.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud and honored to be part of your group po, ma'am.
Oh, thank
so
you.
as a beginner po, or
Yeah.
as
How did you
a
find us,
neophyte.
Romel? How did you find us? Who told you
I
about
took
us?
I took several research, ma'am, about what do you call this one, ma'am? A link.
Ah,
I forgot na po kasi, ma'am, eh. Ang dami na po kasi ako napasahan.
okay.
So
But you're serious about this. That's good.
researching po through internet.
Okay. Well, this
And
group was started by me, and actually the whole group is founded by my sister and my best friend and I. So that's me, Dr. McCullough, and then my sister is Milet Trotter. My best friend is Lisa Bailey. So we started it because we were, especially Lisa and I, we both retired in 2000. Well, I retired in 2016 from the Department of Education in Arkansas, but I am Filipino. I did have my education in the US, all my 4 degrees here, but I was 19 years old when I came here. So I feel like when I retired, I would love to give back by helping others, by helping Filipino teachers come here. And I don't charge Filipino teachers, but I do charge the school when they hire me to be a consultant in order to help you guys when you get here. And in fact, this is my 4th year. Brinkley has always been, like, since year one, has always hired me for all year, like weekly. I go to Brinkley weekly, and where Mike is, it's in Helena. I did that 3 years. And then we have Barton. That's where Leslie and Marissa and Abby are. And then Clarendon, that's where Betsy is. And West Memphis, we had just hired 13 of them. And right now we have, I'm dealing with 2 schools that they're going to want to help me interview. One is Perimeter Healthcare, which is more of an alternative setting for kids that were, misbehaving or really got in trouble with the law, and they have to go to this particular special school. And so when you teach there, for those that will get an interview from there, you will have 2 or 3 adults with you, because you will never be alone with those students. So it's pretty safe. It's not like, you might be afraid because of that setting, but I was there, I visited it, and it did not feel dangerous to me. I was there pretty much half a day, and I talked to their board in order for this international teachers, hiring could get approved, and they just approved it this week. So if you are special ed, I think they want somebody with special ed, because it is a special ed setting. It is a special, situation where the kids really need extra attention. The classrooms are big, and then the number of students are small. So it's almost like, to me, it reminds me of a little delinquent thing, prison thing, because you had to have your ID to get in. Like, I had to follow somebody that had the ID, and once they scanned the ID, and then it locked behind you. Like, you cannot just go out. So these kids are pretty much staying there. They have a dorm there, and they are staying in. And so this is I think, for those that will get hired in this area, it will take some folks that would be tough. Like, if you are very special ed and you don't feel like you can handle the discipline part, because I know there's 2 or 3 others that would help you with the discipline, but after all, you are the teacher, so you're gonna have to be tougher. If you are gonna be soft and they think that you are, they can get away with things with you, then forget it. You'll just be frustrated, and the kids will try to abuse it that you are, too soft. So they'll eat your lunch, which means that they're just gonna give you a hard time. So if you for those that yeah, Mike, by the way, Mike had listed the order of who's going to introduce themselves. But anyway, so those that will be invited for this interview, this is how it works, Romel. If you send me your resume and cover letter to mcculloughmerlina@gmail.com, you can see the spelling under my name there, my tag there, at Gmail, and then you will be on my list. And when you are on my list, because you already had been introduced to me, then I send your names out to the administrators that I know, not just in Arkansas, but all over the different states as well. So the surrounding states especially. So if you want to be a part of that, you need to make sure that you send me your resume. Your resume need to have a picture on the top right or top left of your paper, and then you need to do not give me any personal info. Don't give your age. Put your degree, what school you graduated, what degrees you have, what are the grades and levels that you have, the subjects that you have taught, and then maybe a PD or two that impacted you. Do not list all the stuff that you have taken, just the ones that impacted you, the best PDs that you have gotten, 2 or 3, 4 of them. And then maybe your extracurricular. For example, you, Romel, are coaching a few of this, um, athletics. So you may want to make sure that that you include those. And for if you have other extracurricular things or awards that you have received, I would put it there. And the very bottom of your resume, you need to make sure that you have your references. And that's very important. I should never see one that would say upon request, because nobody's going to request it. Okay, you're doing international teaching here, so they're not going to have time to mess with that. They're going to look for those 3 people that you put down there. It's either going to be a principal. If you don't want your principal now to know, then you're going to have to find another person to put there, and colleague, and then maybe a friend for a personal reference about you. So make sure that those folks that you had put down there on your resume know that you are applying, because if you get, before they send you for an interview, they're going to send you like a little Google form and asking for these people on the list to rate you from 1 to 10, on your organization, on your teaching, on your, are you being professional? What, all those, like usually 10 or 12 things that they ask to rate. And then they would also ask, like, what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? So for those that knew me, that had attended a few of these, and I know them and they know me, they can actually put me down as the first reference. That way it's somebody from the US. And so if you have already emailed me, my contact info would be at the bottom of my email. So that's how it works. Okay. And once they have picked you out as somebody that they would want to possibly interview, they will send those Google form, which is called a survey for them. And then, so those folks that are in your list, make sure that they answer their emails, that they look at their emails every day, because sometimes they have a deadline. So if you have somebody in your, for your reference that did not answer, then you have an incomplete paperwork for them. So you won't even be interviewed. So make sure that you have those folks that would actually answer emails, and hopefully they like you enough to grade you well. Out of 5 or out of 10, they will give you at least 8. They don't start putting you under 5, because then that would not be good. So find someone that actually, would have a good reference recommendation thing for you. Okay. All right. So Romel, thank you so much. You have any question for me? Because that's usually during the interview, that's the first thing they'll ask you, is introduce yourself. Okay. And so when you do introduce yourself, before you do that, you need to, greet them, and all this, and say thank you for having me, and it's an honor to be interviewed tonight or today. And so then you start saying what you said to me, introducing. Okay. And at the end, then they will start asking you questions. And I have interview when you email me, ask me for some possible interview questions and PowerPoint and all that. I have 3 different things that I could send. So then they will ask you at the end, do you have a question for us? So do not say, how much do you pay? In Arkansas, you will start at $50,000, which is about close to 3 million pesos for the whole year, which is actually starting in August through May is what it is. So about 9 months. And so that's what you're going to get. And some schools, some bigger states may pay you more, but of course it's going to cost more to live there. I'm pushing for Arkansas because I live here, but you can always, of course, use, apply in other states. And I don't care where you are, you can always email me and ask me for help, and I don't charge you for that. Okay. But if I have to travel to your school, then your school has to pay me. So they usually pay me for the day and then for my expenses. So, but don't worry about that. It's not going to be charged to you. It's going to be at the school. So this one is just a free service. I know there was there was somebody had did some bad rumor that I charge I charge teachers $6,000 per person, and I'm like, then I would be really rich by now, you know, because I have brought in maybe more than 100 people already, you know, and some of them all over the different states, and then a bunch of them in Arkansas. So no, I do not charge teachers. Please don't tell others who may be saying bad things like that, that I don't do that. You know, I know people would say, what's she doing it for then? Why is she just doing it for free? Yes, I am doing it for free for the teachers. Okay. But I'm not, when I have to travel, I do charge the school for my time. Okay. Because I usually observe the teachers and provide comments and provide feedback to the teachers, and I share it with the principal, superintendent, or whoever else they want me to share it. So I do spend my time in the classroom all day with a teacher. Okay. Any question, Romel? I was saying that because we have a lot of new ones. So, okay. So nothing. Okay. How about Edlin? Edlin, are you here?
Yes, hello, Doc. Good
Yeah, go ahead.
evening.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was having difficulty in my laptop. That's why I'm using phone. I cannot open my video and unmute. That's why I have two accounts here.
You have a nice background.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so good evening, Doc. Good evening, everyone. I'm Edlindine Osorio. I am a public school science teacher here in the Philippines. I've been teaching for almost 7 years. I'm handling senior high school learners, grades 11 and 12. But during the first few months of my job here in the Philippines, I've handled grade 8 science. So, as a science teacher, as someone who loves science, it is my goal to make learners love science too. That's why I believe in the philosophy of learning by doing, because in science, learners learn a lot more when they do experiments or when they do the activities. So my reason also for why I wanted to apply for a job in the US is because I do believe in the idea of growth as a teacher. So I wanted to grow as a professional educator. And I believe that part of growth is taking a step and exploring. So that's why I would love to explore to the US to handle diverse learners and at the same time to develop myself as an
Wow.
educator.
Very
So
good.
I think that would be all. And I would also like to thank my colleague, Ma'am Lovely, for she recommended this page and I was browsing the group. I saw there are a lots of tips that you gave, Doc. So that's why I'm thankful for that. I was actually watching some of the recorded videos
Yeah.
posted
Good.
also in your YouTube.
Good. So you were
So
on
that's
YouTube or
all.
you were in Facebook? Because we have a YouTube
Yeah,
video.
yes, Doc. I am part of the group
Okay.
and then I clicked some of the links there and redirected me to YouTube.
Yeah. I hope you subscribe. I know
So I watched it.
I have like more than 5,000, you know, but then I only have 200 on my YouTube. So I just hope that it will grow more. But because
Yes.
all of the videos here will be on YouTube. So, and all of the videos that we have ever taken will be on YouTube. So yeah, but anyway, nice to meet you, and you did an awesome job. Very, very, very clear and very fluent. I'm needing your degree. You didn't tell me if you have a BS or a master's degree.
Yeah, I sorry, Doc, I forgot. So I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Biological Science. I earned 6 units for Master of Science Teaching in major in Biology, and then I shifted my major to Science Education. So I earned 21 units because Science Education covers the different fields of science
Okay.
instead of just focusing on biology.
That's smart,
So
actually. Yeah, that's smart to do that.
yes,
But so
yes,
when
Doc.
you say units, say hours. We don't say units here, we say hours. And here a master's
Okay.
degree is usually 30, 36 hours. So you may, if you say 21 units, are you halfway? How many units is that? I mean, you might say 21 out of how many units is it to graduate? How many units do you know?
There are for the academic units, that's 30.
Okay, so you can say
That's
21
30, Doc.
out of 30 hours. So you can say that, that way they know how close you are. So you might want to
Yes.
do that for everyone too. So if you are saying how many hours in your master's, you know, you need to say that I'm halfway there, or I'm 21 out of 30, because as an administrator, as a former administrator, I would say things, in my head, I would say, okay, then she will be done or he will be done in a year, you know, so I would kind of say that, or you can even say my expected graduation for my master's degree is in what year. That would always help us too, because we always, you know, take those notes down. And so like when you were talking, I was writing down notes. You know, I love that your introduction really touched on science. You know, you said something about learning by doing in Arkansas, or actually that's a common core recommendation. I think that you need to have experiments or demonstrations or virtual virtual experiments at least once a week. So I know that's not being met every time I go to schools. You'd be lucky to see somebody doing it once a month. But ideally, if you do something every week, that would be the ideal thing. But not very many schools are actually meeting that. I know in some of the magnet school where they actually focus in science, they are very religious about doing science experiments. You know, when I was teaching, I have taught science for about half a semester while waiting for my job at Arkansas Department of Ed. And I did do experiment every week. My partner and I did. So my classroom was actually in the science lab. So every time my partner would do the science lab in my room, I switch with her. But we both set up the experiments, you know, the materials and all that ready for the kids the day before. And so if you're a science teacher, do that. There's a lot of virtual lab out there. You know, I know some of the schools in America are not as rich as others, you know, so if you are in a school that have very limited budget, there's a lot of virtual experiments out there, virtual lab. If you Google that virtual lab, you know, in quotation mark, then you will see a bunch of the virtual labs that it's actually going to be done for you in front of the kids. But then some of them are very simple to buy. So a lot of times, you know, as a new teacher here, your administrator is going to be very, very supportive. They're going to say, do you need anything? Can we, like one school, I had to help the science teacher make a list of things that she would need. You know, what would a science lab, what are the essentials for a science lab? You know, because some of them have not even like provided those basic materials in a lab, like the safety things and so on. And so, so anyway, so those are some things that you could ask if you're a science teacher. Do you have a science lab? And is your science lab gonna have all the, you know, the things that are needed in a science lab? Like, you know, those there's a shower there, and there's a Joel and Berna, you might want to help me with this, but there's a lot of safety things that are in there, and some basic materials that are in a lab. So you might want to, you know, you might want to say something about the, you know, how equipped is your lab, you know, because I know that I would love to do experiments with the kids and how, you know, so anyway, those things you could ask them, because before you have an interview, you should have already researched the school, you should have already researched the community and see if that's something that you are actually interested in going. I just know that if you're in Arkansas, you'll be, you know, I can go visit you, whether your school hires me or not, I will still take care of you. You know, you can still call me, you can still email me, and you can come visit me at my house, whatever, because we will introduce you to the other teachers that are already here. They're very good. Mike and the other folks there are very supportive of each other. They have parties all the time. They have their sessions every week. But yeah, you will be well supported if you come to Arkansas. And it's also a very good, it's a low standard of living, which means that it's low rent. So you will be able to actually, you know, send more money to the Philippines or save some money compared to the ones when you live like in a big city, like Little Rock, for example. The maybe the cheapest apartment would be $1,000 or $1,500, and that same apartment size would be about 500 or 600 in like Helena, where Mike is. And so anyway, so you think about that when you want a big city, then your rent will be also high. Okay. Any question for me, Edlin?
None so far, Doc. Thank you so much, Doc.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you for the tips.
you
Yes,
are
thank you.
you're very relaxed. And if you are reading, I can even tell. You're just like speaking to me, and that's what you should do. When you enter being interviewed, I think Mike could attest to this, that the best interview is when you're just like looking like you're just visiting with each other. It's not really like you're not very formal. You're just like over here talking to me. And that should be the way you should be. You're not scared. You're like just visiting. Like this is just another human. This is another human that may speak English, maybe nosebleed, but they're just another human, another educator like you. Okay. So where are you in the Philippines, Edlin?
I'm at Zamboanga City.
Oh, Zamboanga.
Doc.
Bisaya na, eh?
Zamboanga City.
Bisaya na or no? Tagalog.
No, Chabacano. Chabacano, Doc.
Oh, really? So you can understand Cebuano, Visayan,
Little,
a little.
little only, Doc.
Yeah, I'm from
Yes.
Cebu. I'm from actually from
Tagalog.
Carcar. We have some Carcar folks over here. Yeah. So, but I live in Lapu-Lapu now. My family's in Lapu-Lapu now. So I'm only like maybe 5-10 minutes from the airport when you land in Cebu. So we could hear those airplanes coming in. All right. So nice meeting you. And number 2, Mike, who was it after Edlin?
It's Lionel.
Okay.
Lionel, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you say that, Lionel or Lionel. I don't know. You say you have to correct it.
Good morning, Doc.
Hello.
It's Lionel.
Lionel. Okay, like a lion.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, Doc. So, am I visible, Doc, or audible on your end?
We can do what?
Am I
Yes,
audible?
he's clear po. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
he's
very
clear.
clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. So, my name is Leonel Iboras Kabungkal, hailing from Carcar City, Cebu, Philippines. I
Carcar.
hold a
Yay.
bachelor. Yes.
Okay.
Poblacion 3. Yes, Doc. I hold a bachelor's degree in secondary education with a major in music, arts, P, and health. So it's MAPE from the University of San Jose Recoletos, and a master's degree in education with a focus on teaching PE and sports from Cebu Technological University. So my teaching journey commenced at Colegio de la Inmaculada Concepcion. So that's in Mandaue, where I mentored elementary students from grades 4 to 6 and also high schoolers from grades 7 to 8. So specializing primarily in PE. So PE to Dakonkoando. And then when it comes to teaching also in my philosophy, I'm teaching physical education. My philosophy is to create an inclusive environment where every student feels valued and motivated to participate. I focus on developing physical skills, teamwork, and a positive attitude towards health and wellness. So my goal is to inspire a lifelong love for movement and empower students to lead healthy, active lives. And there is also why I want to teach in America. So I'm interested in sharing Filipino cultural approaches to student interaction with America and of course vice versa. Additionally, I am eager to immerse myself in American culture and learn from it. And aside from that, Doc, I also have my cousins also somewhere in New Jersey. My auntie and uncle also from New Jersey. Where else? California as well.
Okay, well, very
That's
good. You've got relatives here. You did well. If you had notes, it's not obvious. So you're just talking to me. That's cool. And did you tell me how many years of experience you have?
Yes, Doc, I forgot to mention also my teaching experience. So I've been teaching for almost 7 years.
7 years.
So I used to teach elementary and high school, and I was also used to teach in college.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad that you told me all the levels that you said 4, 6, 7, 8, and Immaculada. Immaculada is a good school. That's awesome. So you must know do you know my cousin, Dr. Felipe Imbazado? That's my cousin, or Dr. Laronilia. Those are my cousins.
I'm not familiar because I teach in CIC Mandaue. It's not from the main campus.
Oh, okay.
So
I think
Mandaue.
he's the main. I think he's the guy that runs the main one. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that's yeah, my cousin, Dr. Felipe Imbazado. Yeah, my mom is Imbazado from Carcar. Okay, anyway, so USJR, that's where I was in. I had 2 years
Yes.
and a half of
Ah,
USJR, yeah, full side pre-law. Yeah, before I came here in 87. So I've been in America for 37 years. So you have I think you will be so okay when you interview, because you have this presence positive, and it's showing that you want to learn while also teach others, you know, about your culture and learning about American culture. And here the thing with the PE here is most of the PE teachers are also coaches. Like they would coach certain sports. So you may want to also include like what are the things that you have, if you have coached or if you have played any sport, you might want to say things that you're interested in coaching, because a lot of times schools would use their PE teachers as coaches.
okay.
Yeah.
So actually, I almost include that one in my speech, Doc Nok. Actually, I have a license, an accredited national badminton coach, Doc Nok, in Philippine Sports Commission, and I was also a badminton coach Mandawi team
Okay.
during regional tournaments.
Okay, you need to make sure you mention those, and you can even offer things like, you know, if you don't have a badminton, that could be a question you could ask. If you don't have a badminton team or whatever, or is there any sports that you may be interested in having me, you know, help coach? I would recommend that when you first come to the US, it's easier to be an assistant coach to something first in order for you to learn, and then you can become main the next 2 years. Is that what happened to you, Mike? Did that help you that you were assistant first, or were you main already immediately?
I'm
Mike?
already po the head coach.
Head
When they
coach.
hired me, yeah,
Okay.
I'm the head coach po.
But did you have to learn from somebody, or did somebody help you?
No po.
We need to mute Marlon. I think Marlon's been coming on with a sound. Marlon, Miss Marlon, you need to mute
Yeah po.
for me, please.
I muted her po.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Leonel, do you have any? You don't have any questions for me, do you? Okay. So I guess I'm done with him. Now we're gonna do to Isa, and then Ian. So Isa, talk to us.
Hello, Doc. Hello, fellow aspirants of U.S. teachers. I am also a new applicant here, ma'am, through the help of my friend, Sir Kevin Padayaw, who's really very eager to invite me here on this team, and I am blessed to be part also of your team, Doc. So, again, I am Aiza Bumanglag. I graduated Bachelor of Elementary Education way back 2013. And at the same year, I passed my board exam. And after passing my exam, I immediately applied in public schools for 2 years. And I have had the opportunity to apply in public schools. At first, I was assigned in far-flung area, which is away from our home, for more than 4 years. And now I am in my community, and I am about for almost 2 years for and this year, ma'am. So as a teacher, I had this belief that I need to foster the love of learning for my students while nurturing their creativity and critical thinking skills, because we teachers know that we have this kind of diverse students, so we need to really give them differentiated instructions in many ways, because they have the different learning styles we need to nurture and provide. So for my experiences, I also been part of a development team in developing reading materials for literacy, and I am also a member of the research team in our district, ma'am. So I think I am always open for improvement, and my goal why I wanted to teach in US is that I want to widen my horizon, especially my professional development. And I wanted also to sorry for my voice, ma'am. I also wanted to experience the rich cultures of USA, and I also wanted to learn how the students there how their students in USA learn in different ways and which I can help them develop with it. And then, as we always say, we learn by doing and we also learn from them. So there is an exchange of learning, ma'am.
Oh, good job. I love that part. Exchange of learning. Yeah, because that tells me a lot about your philosophy that you do not just feel like I have all the knowledge, especially in this 21st century. You really need to see students as also individuals that you learn from. And I think that you said a lot of really great things like differentiated instruction, learning styles. All those are really good words to use in your introduction, and it's obvious that you love teaching from how I was looking at your expressions.
Yes, Doc.
And so you have 7 years of experience total.
Yes, Doc, in public school and 2 years in private school,
Okay,
Doc.
did you tell me the grades that you're teaching, you have taught?
In private school, Doc, I taught preschool.
Okay.
And then here in public school is, for my almost 4 years in public, is kindergarten advisor. And then I am also teaching English and MAPE in grades 5 and 6.
Okay.
And now in our community, for more than 2 years, I am fully teaching grade 3 students, though.
Okay. So when you introduce yourself, you might want to say, you don't have to tell them the story about your far-flung thing. You don't have to say that. You just say, my teaching experiences include teaching second grade, third grade, whatever. Kindergarten, from kindergarten, second grade, third grade. You mention the levels, and make sure that when you talk about USA or the US, make sure you put the US. Okay, do not just say USA or US, just say the US or the USA or the Philippines. Okay, that's a very common error. I did that too, so don't feel bad. I just
Thank
want
you,
you and others to use the, okay, with any country. But other than that, you did not tell me where you graduated. What school did you graduate from?
I graduated from Mariano Marcos State University, Doc. And I also graduated my master's degree at Northwestern University, Doc.
Okay, so you need to tell me what levels. I mean, like, were you BS? You were BSE Ed, but then what? Your master's the same, elementary also, or did you go another area?
The master's degree, Doc.
Mhm.
Educational management, Doc.
Okay, so administration. You just say administration because they would not get about, that you need to just say be in administration, master's in administration. That's what I always put down here. I know, you know, that's what we know of in the US is that administration. So I have a master's degree in administration or school administration. You can just say that. But anyway, I think you'll be okay. You will do well too. You were just like the others. You're very fluent, and you did look at the camera, which is a really big deal. And you do have a very good background, not busy. I look for that. That's good that you blur it. I always look at mine too. So anyway, so yeah, what you need to do now is send me your resume with cover letter, and it's under McCullough@gmail.com. And make sure you have your 3 references in the bottom and a picture on top, okay? So
Yes,
when you send me that, then I will acknowledge receipt of that, and I'll include you on my list. So anytime I send something to everybody, you will be part of that. So
Thank you,
but you
Doc.
will get like a reminder on every 2 weeks we have the Zoom. You will get the reminder, you're in my list because you will get the reminder. So if you've not been getting my reminder for the Zoom, that means you're not on my list somehow. You must not have sent me your resume and cover letter yet. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do. Okay. I usually do a
Yes, Doc.
comment or suggestion on your cover letter or your resume because I want it to look good. Some of them I have to help actually rewrite. I'm actually a K-12 literacy specialist. So to Americanize it is what I call it. So it make it sound like not too kind of, I don't know. We are indirect speakers in Asia. As Asians, we kind of say 5 sentences for something we could say in 1 or 2 sentences. And I've done that all my college life here. I'm married to an American. Dwayne and I have been married 37 years, and he has read every paper I have ever written in my 10 years of college here with my 4 degrees. So yeah, it's it's very normal. It get a little better, but it's just that that's how we think, is that we just want to communicate indirectly. You just go in circle instead of just saying it directly. Yeah, that's us
Yes.
though. That's just what makes us, Filipinos, I guess. Yeah, but when you're talking then to someone, just make sure that you're concise and clear and organized. Like first, next, then, in conclusion, or things like that. You kind of organize your thoughts that way instead of just like look like people are just like saying with no organization at all. So I'm always impressed with those that are kind of organized. You just say what your piece, but then you put your transitions in there, just like we do when we're writing. So yeah, but the ones that I talked to today, you did you did A+. You really did. You impressed me because you're very fluent and you really act like you're ready. So keep it up.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. Any question for me? You have any question for me?
Mm, if ever I'll be part of this team, Doc. Actually, I'm really looking forward. So with my friend Sir Kevin to be, Doc, to be out there within this year or maybe the other years if God will permit.
Okay.
So would you still guide us, Doc,
Oh yeah.
whenever we are?
As long as I'm alive, I'm sure that
Okay.
this is my passion. So I'm sure I will continue to,
Thank you,
hopefully
Doc.
I
Thank
won't
you,
get
Doc.
dementia or anything. I'm only 56. But anyhow, so if you go to chat and look at Mike's links, make sure that you get that link that has the job postings. I would want for you to start after you have put your CV and your cover letter together, start applying directly. The more that you apply, the more chances that you have of getting interviewed. And for those that are really afraid to do the first interview, you feel free to, message me, and I don't mind having a one-to-one practice with you. I've done that to so many. So after I do that, you will feel much more comfortable because you will see I will comment on it. Like you might want to add this, you might want to give examples, you might want to, I will do that for you. And there's also a Josephine video that has that on YouTube. So if you want to look at that, that's actually an example of, Josephine, Maria, and we were interviewing her, and then I recorded it and I asked her, can I share it? That's a really good example of how to interview, which is like, answer the question, but then give example from your own experience. Do not just give generic answer without giving something that, what you remembered. When I remembered in my classroom, this is what happened, or this is what I experienced, or this is how I would have handled it. Things like that. You need to like say specific answers. Okay. So Beverly, you might want to mute for me unless you're talking to me, please. Beverly Kalisay. Okay, next, Mike. Is it
Thank you, Doc.
Ian? Yeah, thank you so much. Ian?
Yeah, we have, yeah po. Sorry, Ian.
Yeah.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, teachers. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay. Good evening, Doc. Good evening, teachers. I am Mr. Ian Bibitan, and I graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education major in mathematics, and I am currently teaching right now in Merlina Montessori International School, Talamban Campus, Cebu City. And I am currently handling senior high school students, specifically grade 11 and grade 12 students. And some subjects I'm teaching physics, and some I'm teaching business mathematics and business finance. And then based on my teaching experience, I have already 2 years teaching experience in Maria Montessori International School. And I I handled a lot of students already, diverse students with diverse cultures. Some are Korean, some are Japanese, and I can really say that it's gonna be a hard task and it's a challenging task for a teacher what to do. And
Oh, did you get cut off? Did you get cut off?
philosophy is all about
Okay.
constructivism. So I can really say that giving opportunity to the students to search for their own learning. Can you still hear me, Doc?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, so giving opportunity to the students, giving them to learn, search for the true knowledge, or search and develop as well their higher order thinking skills and critical thinking skills. It is not all about sage on the stage, but being a guide on their side. So I can really say that if you will talk a lot inside the classroom, the students will get bored. Especially if I am handling mathematics, they will get bored all the time. And we are in the digital stage right now, and I can really say that integration of technology is a very nice job or nice opportunity for the teachers because we are in the digital age, as what I mentioned a while ago, and we can really use the technology in integration in the different activities inside the classroom. And I can really say that students will learn a lot from the teachers, but teacher can learn a lot from the students as well. So that's the reason why sometimes we need to hear the voices of the students, will not just talk all the time. And of course, we need to develop the positive classroom environment and then develop as well the strong connection to the students. And then I would like to say thank you as well to Sir Ken Brian Aligado because he's the one who introduced to me, who sent me the link of this. And thank you so much for this opportunity to be part of your group, Doc. Thank you.
Good job, Ian. Wow, amazing, amazing introduction. You did a lot of really good words there that you use. I love that you did show that you are a learner, and I love the guide on the side. You make sure you say guide on the side, not on their side.
Okay.
Just say guide on the side. That's fine. No big deal, no big deal. But you see, mentioned about technical integration. I would have loved for you to show an example of how you use that in when you say that. Followed it up with how you use that in your classroom. Okay. And so why did you want to come to the US?
I forget. Okay, so I want to come in the US to share, of course, my teaching pedagogy, my teaching strategies and techniques of being a unique teacher. As a Filipino teacher, you'll know that we are unique, right? So I want to share as well in other teachers there in America how to handle students, how to be a good teacher in front of the students, and I would like as well to share the positive culture of being a Filipino teacher, not just Filipino, but rather a Filipino teacher in front of the students and in my future colleague as well there in America.
Good. Very good. Nice reason.
That's all.
Make sure you say colleagues. Okay, colleagues. Yeah, I know we in the Philippines we say colleagues, but it's colleagues.
Okay.
It's like college, but it's colleagues. Yeah, colleagues.
Thank you, Doc.
That's fine. You're not the only one, so don't worry. But anyway, you have any? Did you tell me the number? Yeah, you said 2 years though. Is that the only years of
Yes,
experience you have?
yes, Doc. I am currently teaching in a private school, and I don't have any master degree for now, but I am planning to enroll in one of the university here in
Okay.
Cebu, Doc.
But you have 2 years down, right? This is your first
Yes,
year, or this is finishing your second?
it's finishing my second year of teaching here
Okay.
in
Another
private
year.
school,
You
Doc.
need to have at least 3 years, especially for the H-1B visa. And I really would like for folks to have their master's degree. If you're going to do the H-1B visa, it seems to be easier to get approved if you have your master's, just because there is a category there about advanced degree. So we have had folks that got approved with the BS degree, but they have started their masters. But I would really recommend that if you're really serious about coming to the US and in an H-1B visa situation instead of a J-1, I would really recommend you doing a master's degree because it seems to be an edge, I noticed. And try to do one that's not the same. Like if you have your math degree now, unless you just really want to get even better, I would want you to do something else, like a master's in special ed or master's in some, I guess I noticed a lot of math and science to get their masters because you want the higher one. I could see that. But like elementary teachers, you might want to do something else other than like a master's in elementary ed, because you already have that degree. It's nice to have that extra other things that you could be certified in. Like I see a lot of administration, the ones that have applied here, but the thing is, not very many, and not that I know of anyway, that would actually hire administrators from other countries. So they usually grow their own. That means that they want you to be a teacher in their school and observe you, what kind of teacher you are. Then they will try to, ask you, hey, are you interested in becoming a principal or assistant principal, they would encourage you to do that because they like the way you do things. But that doesn't mean that they're going to just hire somebody that has their degree in administration straight from the Philippines. I've not seen very many of that, or any actually. So it's might be you have a better chance of getting hired as a teacher than if you're really interested in becoming a teacher leader, curriculum leader, which is principal or assistant principal or curriculum person. Then you need to have at that school and be have really good reputation, or you have really gone above and beyond. You're showing that you are a teacher that really wants to grow, volunteer things, and go to ask for things that you can do in order to improve yourself. I really, as a former administrator here, I was always impressed with those teachers that would say, hey, at that time I was still Miss McCullough. I said, Miss McCullough, if there is a PD on this one, I'm really interested in knowing more about this. And will you please put me down? So I have this little bulletin board thing in my office, and I would put their names down on the corner for PDs that they want, because they wanted me to send them to those. And I really appreciate those teachers that would go above and beyond, because you also have the opposite, where teachers actually do not want to go, which is really not a good thing. If you really want to grow, you need to go. Okay. My husband actually would joke with me that, yeah, that's just Merlina go McCullough, because I'm always going. I always go, go, go. But anyway, but as an international teacher, I would encourage you to actually, go for PDs. If they ask you to go for PDs, go it, do it. And you mentioned something about appreciate that you should hear the students sometimes. You might want to not say sometimes. You might want to say you always want to hear about students. In fact, one of my favorite strategies I always mention is a 10-2 strategy, which is like 10 minutes teacher talk and then 2 minutes student talk process. They need to you ask them questions to think, pair, and share TPS with their classmate of what you just talked about, because that's anchoring your information in, and you're having them process what you just said for 10 minutes. So 10-2 strategy is a really good strategy. If you're teaching kindergarten or preschool, it's a 5-1, 5-minute teachers, and in one minute the kids will have to talk to you or talk to their classmates. And after they talk to their classmates, then you ask 1 or 2 pairs to say, hey, share what you said to each other. And while they were doing that, I always go around and monitor and see somebody that might have shared something really great that I want them to share to the rest of the class. And I call that debriefing. You're actually debriefing that important 10 minutes of your teaching, and you're debriefing for 2 minutes. So you're letting them process it. And this is really needed, especially for students that are auditory learners, because those auditory learners, and how do you know that what they are? They're doodling. They're not looking at you. They're just doodling. They're drawing. They're not looking at you in the eyes at all, because they're just over there listening. They're using their ears. But for them to retain their learning, they have to actually speak it to somebody so they can hear themselves, and then they retain it, because they're auditory learners. So they actually process it with somebody or process it with you. So teachers that have a good 10-2 strategy in their classroom, they usually do not have much discipline problems, because you are allowing them to talk. Some kids get in trouble when they're talking while you're talking. It's because they've been talking too long. I always reflected as a teacher, like, how come they're talking now? Did I bore them to death, or is it their turn to talk now? It is, because obviously, why are they talking now? So anyway, so I would love, it's a good thing to reflect as a teacher, that your kids kind of give you these clues. So read it, read a room. So I always admire, I always joke about this when I do PDs to teachers. I would say, your mind can only handle what your bottom can endure. So if they cannot endure it because their bottom's hurting from sitting there, well, get up. Sometimes I would say things like, if you understand me, if you got me, I want you to, if you agree with me, you need to stand up and hop like a rabbit, for elementary. You don't want to do that for high school, but, or you could say things like, I want you to take your right hand and touch your left ear, because in order to cross, you're going to have your to wake them up, you know, especially after lunch. But do things like that. Those are called formative assessment. Those are informal assessments that you do in order to check if they got it. And that's a weakness with some teachers, is like they just talk and talk and talk and talk, and there's no assessment at all. You know, assessment would be like, if you understood it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you're still confused, thumb sideways. Those are some really common ways to check, are they with you? Okay, did you go to New Zealand and they're still in Australia? You know, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure your students are with you. Okay, so thank you so much, Ian. Do you have a question? You had a really long
I don't have a
introduction, by the
question.
way. That's cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
I
keep
don't
it
have any. I don't have questions, Doc. Thank you so much for
okay. Yeah, I love.
some
Yeah,
of the
do
advice.
mention the technology part, especially that, you know, especially that you are science, right?
Mathematics, Doc.
Your math, yeah, your math integration with math, yes. And Erwin here, he's got a video for me. That's an introduction video that's on the website that I put in the featured pin. He did a good job with this interview. You might want to also look at that. So for those that want to know how to do an, you know, 2-minute interview, you know, introduction, look at Erwin's. I like his video. So I posted it there. Erwin is here. Thank you, Erwin. Okay, so next, is it Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer.
Ma'am Jennifer told me po, Doc, na she already introduced herself po.
Okay, Jennifer, what was Jennifer's last name?
Hi, Doc.
Jen.
Good
yeah,
evening, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
my
yeah.
second time.
Yes, I remember you. Yes, I remembered you. I know you have to remember, I have more than 400 on my list now. I think 300. Right? So there's a lot to remember. But when you smiled, I remembered your smile and your glasses. So
I already sent you my
you did.
cover letter, Doc, and resume. Yes, Doc.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll try to comment on it. So if you did not hear from me the next a day or two, that means that I didn't get it. It went to my spam. So if you do send me anything, I always answer because I check my email many times a day. So so do check with me. So did you receive it? You know, because if I didn't acknowledge it, I didn't get it. Okay.
I did not. Yes, Doc.
Okay.
I did not receive any email from you, Doc.
Okay.
But
then
I received an invitation from Sir Mike on the page, Doc.
Okay, you might want to
Email.
resend it then if I did not
Okay, Doc.
respond to you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
Doc.
I've responded to everyone before this, so I did not. My inbox was okay. There's nothing there to respond to before I started this. So if you sent it after we've started, of course I have not responded because I'm here on the Zoom. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Doc.
All right. Next, after Jennifer, Mike,
Ma'am Elizabeth po.
Elizabeth. Okay.
Elizabeth.
Hi, good evening, and hi, Ma'am Ellen.
Hello.
I am from Napucarcar City, Cebu, and this is my second time here.
Yes.
And thanks so much for Frana Ambassador Beria for giving me the link of joining the Zoom.
Okay.
Ma'am Ellen. I've been teaching in the Department of Education for 23 years.
Okay.
My teaching experience includes teaching the different levels from kindergarten. I have been with grade 1, grade 2 but have been teaching grade 2 for almost 20 years.
Okay.
I graduated my Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in general education. Way back 1988 at the University of San Carlos.
Okay.
I am the research coordinator, school research coordinator, school paper advisor, and now currently a master teacher too, conducting technical assistance for the curriculum delivery of my colleagues.
Okay.
Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes, your colleagues. Yes. Good job. Good job,
I
Elizabeth.
heard correcting colleagues, and then I knew it, how to speak.
Yeah, awesome.
I sent already my cover letter and my resume to you in your email. Thus, getting permission from Sir Libby to be one of my references. And Sir Ken, Brian Aligado, also one of my references.
Okay.
Okay. I've been also a coaches course for badminton, and having been our winning coaches of those sports activities in school.
Okay.
And I would love to teach abroad, just to partake the benefits of globalization and understand the culture beyond our own that solidifies the bond between people. And that's how I see my perspective of teaching the US.
Okay. It sounds like very general when you say about the globalization. You might want to say things like, I would love to learn, global, have a global understanding of, maybe the American education or American, students, whatever, but do not say what you just said, because it sounds like you're reading it or you're just like saying some of those, words there. So you make it your own. Just make it your own. Yeah. Good job. And I do like your background. That's my favorite background there. Like that color. And it's clear and you look very professional. Do that whenever you're being interviewed. And you call me Mom Ellen. That's good. Thank you. I told that for folks that are new here. My nickname is Ellen. And if you start calling me Ellen, that means you must know me already. Well, usually related to me or close to me. So Miss Maria calls me Mom Ellen.
We're always talking about you, and we used to call. How about Mom Ellen? Is she contacting you? That's why I've been. Do I have to call Mom Ellen? Am I in the perspective of knowing Mom Ellen?
You're from Karkar. You're from Karkar. You can call me, right? I really don't care, guys. There's a joke. Yeah, there's a joke here that says, I don't care what you call, as long as you call me for dinner or something. They would say that. So no, I'm not very picky about names. I'm not very hung up on, you have to call me doc. No, I'm not hung up on that. I know some of them that have graduated with their doctorate, they would say, well, I worked so hard on it, I need to be called that. I'm like, nope, not me. You wouldn't even be on my tombstone. I just, because one thing that I learned from my doctorate degree here in America is that I'm not as smart as I thought I was. Is very humbling when you realize, oh my gosh, I'm not that smart. So which means that you have a growth mindset, that you're not there yet, that you're wanting to learn more, because there's a lot of things there to learn. And everybody that I meet, including you all here, really teach me things. And that's why I think that's what the beauty of it. I like it because I don't have all the knowledge at all. But I do have lots of connections. I do have lots of resources that I could call or I could, get from my drive because of being in education for more than 30 years here. But Elizabeth, instead of saying 23 years, just say 20 plus years. I would just say that, don't be that specific. And once you say that you have that much experience and you graduated in she said 88, be sure that you followed it with, although I have been in education for more than 20 years, I have kept in touch with technology, because that is a misconception with some administrators here. Yeah, they think, okay, Jelen, you need to mute for me, please. Anyway, so that's their misconception that, oh, you've been in education for more than 20 years. How updated are you in technology? Have you had PDs on technology? Do you know Google Classroom? Do you know, all the Google Suites products, from Google Form to Google, Sheet to Google, Google Docs, all those. Do you know those? If you know those, you need to make sure mention that, especially for those with more than 20 years of experience, because that's one thing as an administrator, they would always say in our little meeting talking about who's want to be hired. They said, oh, are you worried that this person might not know about technology? And did not mention anything about that. And I'm like, well, that's why I always tell the applicants, from the other countries or the Philippines especially, to mention that if you have that many years of experience, make sure that you show them, that you have kept in touch with technology. Like I have more than 30 years and I continue to learn. Like Google Classroom came out, I learned about it. So when I do PDs, I would actually use Google Classroom. So my participants would actually just, get my handouts and my PowerPoint and all that from the Google Classroom I created for the PD itself. So I've got so many Google Classrooms out there for the different PDs I've made. So because that keeps me up to date with technology. I don't want to be this person that would do PDs, but then I don't know my stuff, so I am very current on the new apps and the new things that come out because I want to learn. I want to learn about Kahoot. If you're not using Kahoot, you need to go to Kahoot and learn what's it? Quizzes, Quizzicz. And then what's the one that blow? What's that? Miss Maria here. Blookit. Blookit is another one, guys. Blooket. Blookit.com is a really good one because this is a game that you can choose the skill, but then the kids are able to steal from each other, steal points from each other. You never know who wins. The other day, I think it was Maria's classroom. They were doing Blookit, and Maria put me down as one of the, participants, and no, it wasn't Maria. It was somebody else. Anyway, another teacher put me down as one of the applicants. So I just put MM for Dr. McCullough. It was in another school. And I won it. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad because she was giving prizes for first prize. And here I took this from somebody, some kids. Who is MM? Everybody like saying, who is MM? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just playing with them. But so I told them that, yeah, whoever the second place was, you really are first place. And the third place actually second because I didn't mean to take it. It was just fun to be part of it. And it's always good whenever whatever your kids are doing, you actually are doing it. Like on the school right now that I'm coaching, I'm an instructional coach or a consultant, right? And so I'm hired by a school here that I used to be a K-12 literacy specialist, Mountain Home. I was there for 5 years. So now I'm coaching their 8th grade teachers on literacy. And so I'm actually coaching the teacher plus the students, right? And so it's fun to learn from them. And whenever they were doing like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of silent reading, that's called SSR, sustained silent reading, which according to research is really good for the students to have that. So they actually have that in their school. And we did that when I was administrator there too. We did that already. But anyway, this is giving the teachers an opportunity to do their lunch count and their attendance. So the students are reading and then for 10-15 minutes, and after that they take their journal out and they're gonna write about what they're reading. Sometime on Monday they might write about their weekend update, which means that talk about your weekend, what you did. The Friday before we went to spring break, they wrote about what are your plans for spring break. Okay, so I'm sure when we go back Monday, they're gonna talk about what did happen on their spring break. But this is a good way for you to see how kids are reading, like what kind of reading materials are they doing. Like I have, for every classroom I go, I have 4 students that they have identified I need to help. So the first thing I do is I look for those 4 students and I'm going to look at what they're reading. What kind of material, what kind of genre are they reading, and what kind of level are they? Are they like, if you're an 8th grader and you're still on Harry Potter, which is good that you're into serial reading, because that's usually how you hook them, is recommending them something that's in a series. So they will always, kind of get hooked. But have they also tried other series, the one that's appropriate for their grade level? Because Harry Potter is usually like elementary. They would start in elementary, 3rd, 4th grade, they actually start reading that. So have they started other ones that are coming out? There's a lot of science fiction things that have come out that are a series, 2 or 3 or more. So those are things that would be good to, recommend. And I've done that. I would talk to them like, hey, what are other series that you have read? Tell me, share with me. And they would tell me, and I'm like, hi, that's a good idea, because sometimes I would also teach me what are the series out there that are coming out for the young adults. So I'm learning from that. Excuse me, I have a cold, so I'm over here. Anyway, so those are showing you the reading behavior of the students. Well, when they're writing on journal, then I look at what are the things that they need. Like, are they writing complete sentences? Are they Are they putting end marks? Are they using just simple sentences, or are they doing complex or compound sentences where they're, combining two sentences or more? I always tell students that, you know what, your sentences need to be like spaghetti. You're talking about, I said, spaghetti, some of them are small and some of them are medium, but some of them are really long, right? And you have to slurp them. Those are your sentences. Those sentences should be like that. It's varied. You have simple sentences, you have some medium ones, and then you have some long ones. You don't want to just all long ones, because then that affects your style. Sometimes you might just put the word wow, exclamation point, short, but it hits the point of what the feelings are or whatever. So I would look for things like that. I would look for misspellings. Like in 8th grade, I see a lot of small i's because of the texting. They would not capitalize their I, and I'm so allergic to that. So I would always tell them, oh my gosh, I'm having this rash. What are you talking about, Dr. McCullough? I'm having this rash because I'm so allergic. You have to take me to the hospital because I'm allergic to the small I. It needs to be capitalized, guys. Like, oh, I know you do that on texting, and that's fine, because that's an informal register. You need to know when it's formal register in school or an informal, like you're doing it with your text or your social things, but even that, I still make it capital for me. And I guess that's coming from being in the literacy field. But yeah, so anyway, so those are some things that you could learn from students. And also I want to share that because I want you to also learn from that when they're reading a book, I'm reading a book. So I'm stopping my reading my book, and I would go watch and look at the other 4 students I was focusing on. And when I finished with the 4, I would also help others. But I'm showing them that when they're reading, I'm reading. When they're writing, I'm writing on my own journal. So you model that behavior instead of like, you do this, but then I don't do that. You always try to model whatever you expect from your students if you can. Even in workshops, when I'm asking the teachers to like write a reflection on this, or write this, or show me, let's have a quick write for 10 minutes about this topic, I'm also grabbing my notebook and I'm also doing that. I'm sharing what I wrote in order for you to feel like, oh, she's taking a risk. So it's okay to share because she already shared. The PD person already shared. So then you feel okay to share because I did already. Okay. And so do that. Make sure that you model that in your classroom. So, okay. So Elizabeth, question for me? Sound like you are master 2. That's awesome. You may get, if you ever get an interview, they might ask you what master 2 is. So master 2 here would be close to like, be similar to, well, master 3 is actually like national board certification. You can just say it's like national board. It's above and beyond, so you can just say that because they don't know what that is here. We don't have that here. They would have like, I am national board certified teacher, which means I could teach at most of the states, maybe just 10 or 11 states that I could not without doing extras. Most of the time when I go and teach another state, I just show my national board certification and I can teach there because that's one of the levels that you go. It's the highest that you have, is that you have your national board. And I had that since 91. No, I lied, 2001. 2001. So anyway, so that's it. And who's next, Mike?
Thank you,
Doc,
Doc.
it's
Thank
Ma'am
you so much,
Shelly.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, girl. Yeah.
Ma'am Shelly?
Shelly.
Yeah, I guess.
Shelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shelly.
Good day, Dr. Merlina. Am I audible?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Good evening. Good day. I am Shalene C. Orsolino. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in physical sciences, and I already earned my 42 semester credit hours. Graduate study in science education. So nagpa-FCE na po ako.
Okay.
Pero I'm not yet applying in any state. And I was able to teach for almost 7.5 academic years, handling grades 7 and 8 middle high school science and grades 9 and 10. And general science, and also I teach research and special biology because at our school, it's a science high school. So we have additional subjects. And what I love about teaching science is that I have the opportunity to inspire students in to be curious and to enhance their critical thinking skills. And also, I would love to witness those moments when they grasp those complex concepts of science and relate it to the real world. And also, I love guiding them through hands-on experimentation and seeing how they develop they develop their enthusiasm in discovery, in inquiry-based experimentation. And why I want to teach in the US, because I want to explore the diversity of learners and system of education there. Thank you, Dr. Merlina,
Very
for this
nice. I know you have notes, but then you're very, very good about like just looking at it real quick and then talking to me, and that's what you should do. Okay, I don't expect you to memorize everything. It's okay to have notes like that, but just do not be looking at the notes the whole time. You did awesome on that part, by the way. So good job. You did tell me about your BS. You said 42 hours for your master's. How many hours is your master's if you already have 42?
In URS, it's 48, but it's labs that I need to transfer to other universities. So I'm still studying now and working on my thesis.
Okay,
In
gotcha.
other university.
So you can say I got 42 out of my 48 hours for my towards my master's, and my anticipated graduation is this. So you can tell them around next year or how many months, or you can say that in another semester or in 2 semesters I'll be done. Something like that, because I, as a person that has gotten my education here in the US in college, I was confused about the 42 hours, because 48 hours here would be about 2 masters. But that's what my specialist would have been, is that I did 2 masters. That's my second master. It's called a specialist. Okay. And then after that will be doctorate. So yeah, they will be confused about that. So make sure you say that. Okay. And then why did you say 7.5 years? Because you're counting this year. It's quite half yet. Is that what it is?
I resigned po sa DepEd because of the distance po sa school. Hindi po ako inalaw mag-transfer. So, I'm planning to reapply.
Okay.
But
so when did you quit?
Last 2023.
So you're
May.
not currently teaching right now?
Yes po. So, kailangan ko po kasi munang maghanap po ng therapy center po dun sa anak ko.
Okay.
And then, ang plano ko po is go back in
Okay.
teaching.
Have you sent have you sent your CV and resume to me?
Not yet po. I waited on my FCE result. Then last week po na release.
No, to be on my list, you just need your resume and your CV. Okay? So you can just get those others when you get hired. So right now I just need your resume and your CV, so you'll be part of my list. Okay? But I would recommend for everyone that you need to be teaching this year, because you won't be, the immigration's not gonna accept you if you're not teaching at all for the current year. So make sure that you are, and make sure that you have completed at least 3 years. I know some of them would say 2 years, maybe the J1 would accept it, but I think for H1B, I really would like for you to have at least 3 years down your belt. Okay, so make sure that you have that. And yeah, it's you have a lot of really good words, the keywords that you use there, like exploring, discovering, inquiry, hands-on experimentation. Those are really appropriate words to use for science teachers. Just like in math, when you would start using things about manipulatives and some real life math things that you do. So those are some good things to use, and you did that. Do mention technology, since you did not. You did mention research. If I were you, I would just say 7 years instead of 7.5 years, because like me, I questioned why half. So if I were you, I would just say about 7 years. That's what I would say, because because it creates another question, So anyway, but it's up to you. It's your call, of course. And you did tell me that you did teach from 7th to 10th grade. That's good. And yeah, those are very specific things that you said. You even said about why you want to come. And so you have any questions for me, Shelly?
Nasagot niyo na po. Thank you so much.
You need to make sure you speak English. This is a place to practice our English, okay? I don't mean to be having a nosebleed, but this is a good practice for you. Yeah, is your son okay? You said you have a physical therapy session?
He is a special kid po, special.
Okay.
He's in the spectrum. That's
Got
why I really want to go to US.
to the US. Okay. Yeah. That's a good reason. That's a
Yes.
good reason. But the primary reason should be because of what you can bring to the students and what the students can teach you as well. Okay, or you know how the education in America will benefit you and your kid. You can say that, because it's always good to talk about our family, that they can benefit from this too, because that's what when they hire you, that's one of the questions that they would ask you then. You know why? Because for every child that you bring to the school system, it's about $10,000, but of $500,000 to the school, because that's how much the school will get per child. Maybe it's more than that now, but so it's actually an advantage for the teachers to be bringing kids here and putting them in the same school, of course, because you pretty much have paid part of your pay. If you have 3 kids at 30,000, you already paid more than half of your pay. So it's good to bring kids, not to mention that you will not be very homesick if you have your kids here, because I've seen how miserable and sad the parents here that did not quite bring their kids yet because they're still trying to save money. And I see that they tell me that they cried and they're so sad and they really miss their kids, especially if they're sick. And I see that, I've seen that. So yeah, it's family is important. So yeah, okay, next.
Thank you so much, Dr. Merlina.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your great introduction. Mike was next.
Next po. Ma'am Amina.
Mina. Okay.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Well, hi, Miss Amina. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah, for the first time, I was able to in. It's very tough for me to get into the Zoom.
How come?
Yeah, I don't know. I can use my Google. I use my FB account.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, how are you, Doc?
Well, welcome. Tell me about you.
Yeah, before that, I would like to say salam to everyone, a greeting of peace and solidarity. I am Amina Aban. I've been
Ramadan
working
Kareem.
under the Department of Education for almost 6 years. I've been assigned to different grade levels, grade 7, 8, and 9, 10. I've also assigned into, for almost 6 years of experience in teachings, I've been an inclusion teacher. So I use differentiated instructions to accommodate all my learners. In teaching, I've been a social study teachers, and because of the demand and the love for my students, I am currently enrolled in my master's in special education, major in moderate to severe disabilities. In our school, I am also designated as a peace education coordinator. So as you can see, I did not find it difficult to communicate with the parents, colleagues, staff, admins, and the community as a whole, because I'm used to communicate with people around us, which is to bind and have a good harmonious relationship. When it comes to ideas and opinions, I always consider the ideas and the opinions of my parents regarding to the best interest of my learners. So I am also a licensed teacher here in the Philippines. As you can see, I can teach into different grade levels regardless of their cultural backgrounds and social and academic backgrounds. So and also, aside from why do I want to teach in America or abroad? It is because aside from my personal dream to be to experience the culture, the tradition of different neighboring countries, it is also for me to cater to experience the educational system, because I know that neighboring countries or the advanced European countries or American countries, they are very advanced when it comes to educational system. So when I come back, I want to teach, to share, to reteach, and to share the learnings that I've got from there, so that the one Amina that happens to be there will be doubled, so that I can be the legacy of this cultural to bridge a good cultural, maintaining good communication relationship with neighboring countries, and to be participate of this culture and program of bridging culture and maintaining good relationship with global community. So I think that is the best reason why I want to be hired.
Okay, nice, nice. Where are you from, the Philippines, Amina?
I am from Zamboanga City, but I am currently teaching here in Zamboanga City, but I'm from Zamboanga del Norte, the last part of the Mindanao.
Mindanao, wow, very far. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, I can tell you know what you're doing. Anyways, so you have 6 years, 7th grade to 10th grade inclusion. So you might want to start with that inclusion, special education, and then so what I really like in your introduction is you said things like, because I love the kids, I went into my master's. I mean, I love that you started with that. The reason why you went into, furthering your education. I think that's really cool that you use students as a reason. And anytime a teacher does that, it's always amazing to me. And that you wanted to share, that's awesome. And when you say neighboring countries, you'll be talking about Asian countries, right? And the US is not a neighboring country of
Yeah.
Asia. You might want to say
Yeah.
international, like you said, on the global communities. You can just say international connection or international, global connection, things like that. Do not say neighboring countries when you're talking about the US. Just a thought. Unless you're talking to another Asian country, and then you can say that. Okay, that's why I asked you where you were. I didn't know if you were in Canada or something. That's why you said neighboring country. Okay. And so yeah, that's a really good introduction. Did you ever time yourself? Make sure they give you about 2 minutes. I think it's usually a pretty normal time. So try to time yourself whenever you practice. In fact, you can watch this video and see how long you talk to me, and you can see, but you're very natural and you're very fluent. And I love that you said that because of your role as communication, person in your school, that you don't have any problems dealing with parents. That's a really good one too. That's another good one that you said, and I like that part a lot. So anyway, you have any question for me?
If I will be given a chance, if I will ask you the percentage that I will be hiring, can you give me a percentage of it?
Don't ask that. That's a good try, but no, don't do that. Because
okay.
no, don't do that, because you know why? You're putting them in a spot, and they cannot really say that. They can't really answer that. Like I could not answer that. When I was still in the administration shoes, I would not be able to tell you any numbers at all. And it's kind of almost like, what? So no, don't ask that, okay? I would rather have
Okay, thank you.
what kind of PDs are available for you, what kind of what kind of extracurricular things that you could help, or things like that, because I would rather have you look at that instead of like, because if they're gonna hire you, they're gonna hire you. You don't have to ask for the percentage. Okay.
Or should I say, if I will be hired, if I will be hired, is there any advanced opportunity for
Jelan, Jelan, you need to please, Jelan, will you please mute? Mike, can you please mute Jelan for me? Because we are hearing things there. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So what were you saying that about what?
Or should I ask them, is it possible that I can ask them, or if I will be hired, is there any advanced seminar for me to be easily adjust in your community?
So if hired, you say if hired, what types of professional development or PDs are available, that I can take? I'm interested in learning. I'm interested in growing as an educator. So what kind of PDs are available for me? You can say that, yes. And say if hired, just say if hired. Yeah. So cool. Very cool. Good question. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Nice. Yes. Good job. Okay, Mike, who's next?
Red. Mr. Red po.
Okay. Mike, you
Good
are
evening.
doing an awesome job of going back and forth between male and female. You have remember that. I told Mike before
Yes
in
po.
my classroom, I said,
Actually, I already miss, I already
yeah,
miss,
do not
Mr.
call
Red.
all three males or three females in a row. I told my students to be a spy and tell me if I did that because I don't want you to think I'm favored male over females or vice versa. So Mike paid attention to that. Thank you, Mike. Good job, Mike. So, anyway, all right, next.
Mr. Red.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Mike, for lining me up.
Uh-huh.
Good evening, everyone. Good teachers back in the Philippines, and good morning, Dr. Merlina.
Morning.
By the way, my name is Mr. Redimer Payet. Uh, yes, you can call color, and they like it and like it as well. I am a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science at Holy Angel University, Angeles City, Pampanga, and I took 18 units of methods of teaching, and I got my license back around 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And then in terms of years of teaching, I have 18 years since 2006. And I have an international, or let's say different countries that I work with and that I taught with, like Qatar, UAE, Abu Dhabi. And currently I am residing and teaching in international school here in Vietnam for 5 years. So in terms of the years of level of teaching, I'm currently teaching K to 12 from kindergarten until grade 12. At the same time, when I was in the Philippines, I am teaching in a university, same as when same school, same university when I graduated as college. So aside from that one, I have a bunch of experience in international schools, like different curriculums such as International Baccalaureate. I have IGCSE and Cambridge AS and A level. That'll be both computer science, ICT, and digital society. So in terms of expertise, on the other hand, aside from those curriculums and topics that I'm handling currently right now, is I am doing programming, I'm doing animation, web development, graphics and visual designing, game development, and app development. By the way, during the pandemic, I created a bunch of apps that I provided to the teachers back in the Philippines because I was a public school teacher back then. I teach them for around four. I taught them for around 4 years. I am handling as well trainings and seminars for the teachers, public school teachers, before the pandemic strikes. So I kind of prepared them before that kind of event. That's why when the pandemic strikes on that specific city or province that I thought to, they kind of prepared, and then I received a lot of responses that they help them a lot during those the trainings and seminars. So again, if I love to go to USA because very basically I have a experience in different culture, different languages, different walks of life of people, especially in Middle East. So I think I have a capacity to handle students in the US. On that sense, of course, teachers, we are prone to the learning side. We have to have that kind of a space to learn from other teachers and from other nationality as well. So hopefully, and prayerfully that I can be able to be part of the success of education in the US because I think I can able to share based on my experience and based on my subject area and expertise and the rise of AI right now. I think I can able to adapt somehow and I can able to teach and inspire more students and colleagues and teachers alike. So I think that'll be it. Thanks so much for listening.
Very good. Wow, wow, wow. Nice one. And you know that you really named some really advanced computer programming, animation, all those app making, those things, AI, those are some really key words for computer teachers. Here, the coding is really big in Arkansas, especially. And so if you ever get an interview in Arkansas, make sure you do say something about if you know advanced coding, for example. Okay, so 18 years of experience and you said university. So does that mean you have your doctorate degree if you taught at university?
Not really, madam, because basically in the university they can accept at least even bachelors, but when CHED requires that most of the teachers, at least the minimum, is the master's degree. That's they try to cut me down because that's the criteria and that's the requirement. So apparently, but I'm dealing with university students, those year 1 to year 4 students to graduate. So basically, I have those kind of experience as well. But again, I have some units in or masters in information and technology. But apparently, after 5 years of missing that one, I think I'm going to back to zero. That is, of course, I have a plan to be part of that masters, to get that kind of certificate if God's willing, and then of course if I'm able to enter US, and I think I can able to enroll and be part of that master's degree. It's gonna help my career as well. Of course.
Yeah, I think for technology though, I think they have those level 1, 2, 3 in Microsoft, for example. Those Google
Correct.
educators,
Certificates.
all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have those kind of
Yeah.
certificates, man, if I may add. So I have that kind of certificate. I have a lot of experience online, offline, and sometimes I'm handling as well the Google education trainings and seminars as well. So it's not just only the experience that I have, as well as the certificates that I have currently right now. I think
Yeah.
might be good offer for the schools of Arkansas or other states in the U.S.
Okay. You are very confident and that's good, but sometimes that could also be perceived as too much. So be sure that you show some kind of humility. Like, for example, you
Right,
might
right.
want to say, I humbly received some, or I was honored to receive, compliments or whatever from other teachers. You can kind of, because if and I'm guilty about this, I'll have to be careful. You cannot be too confident whenever you're talking to administrators, because from my experience, they seem to like think of it like you are a threat to them. Like, is he or she gonna take my job? It's almost like that. Like, I felt like
That's
some
right.
administrators
Yeah.
I talked to, and this is here in the US, it's almost like they're trying to like prove themselves to me, like, oh, I did this, I did that. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
well, I don't really
Right,
care,
right.
that's not why I got interviewed here, or why I was talking to you. It's that I don't know, it's a competitive thing. I don't know if it's a fixed mindset thinking, but I just want you to be aware of that you need to have some kind of words that make it sound like, yes, I know a lot of these things, but I'm also still humble because I know I still have a lot to learn. And that's always going to come out really, really well. That, oh, look at this guy, he really knows a lot, he's very advanced, he's got all this knowledge in computer, but yet he still thinks that there's more to learn, because there's always more to learn. As you know, technology is always moving, it's always, new technologies coming out. And I love that you mentioned AI, because that's a really big thing right now. Although I have met some teachers that just hate AI for my teachers in literacy, because kids are actually using AI to write their essays. And so some teacher, like one of the teachers I'm coaching, right? I said, oh, Dr. McCullough, I just really wish that students will, be smart enough to like not think they can get away with writing, in using AI, because it doesn't even sound like them. We, as teachers, we know how our students, sound like, and then all of a sudden they become like college kids sounding. so so those kind of things. So anyway, so Red, do you know what I'm talking about, Red? Like, try to
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll take note on that one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm used to that kind of, and then because of my voice as well, it
Mhm.
seems like I'm highly confident and stuff like that. So I think that's one of my weakness, and then I talk too fast,
No,
something like
you're
that. So
fine. Yeah, your speed
is it okay? Yeah.
is good. You're very natural. I can tell
Okay.
you're very fluent, which is a good thing.
Right.
Just kind of,
Sure.
yeah, do those things, like,
Tone
I
down a
guess
bit. Yeah.
showing
Tone
more,
down a
yeah,
bit.
showing more
Yeah.
growth
Showing
mindset,
off.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, my motive is not to show off
no,
because
no, 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 I'm
in
not
terms of
saying that, but it's, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because
just that.
basically, when you're having interview, I'm just going to lay down everything
Mhm.
that I have. It's like this is all this is
Yes,
all I am.
yes,
I'm trying to give everything to you. So
yeah,
whether you're going to be like or not, so it's up to
right,
the administration. So on that
right.
one.
Just
But
kind of,
I'll take note on that one, Doctor. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, just follow it with, like, of course,
Sure, sure.
I'm still willing to learn whatever, just kind of
Right,
follow
right,
that, and
exactly.
that would just
Sure,
be
yeah.
fine. One sentence will
That's
take care of it. But
cool,
anyway,
cool.
but other than that, do you have any questions? Because I don't think you have any problems at all in the
What was looking out for the wells that are
one of the
Yeah, I
most.
think I have. Yeah, I have one question, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Arthur, can you please mute yours? Thank you.
Well, we have been lucky.
Mike.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I have some question because I tried to check the links that you showed us, and then try to visit all those districts in different states, and I can see that there's just only a small percentage of hiring computer science. So I think most of them are special education teacher. So I think that the market for computer science, I don't know, because basically I'm just checking all the websites and stuff like that. But do you think computer science teacher has a huge market
No.
in terms of public school teachers?
Not very many. You may want to, if you go
Right.
to www.schoolspring.com and really check the
Right.
ones that would say something about technology. And I think there's something there. But anyway, so it may be listed under something
Education
about
technology, most likely, yeah.
coding, something about
Yeah, yeah.
technology, word
There's
technology.
some urgent areas. Right, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool.
not very often you're very good about that. Yes, you are correct, because there's not going to be very many at all. So your
That's
best
right, that's
bet
right.
would be going to bigger schools. Like look for the look at the United States, there's 50 states, right? Look for the capital of
Right.
that state and try to apply there.
Okay.
For example, the capital of
Sure.
Arkansas is Little Rock. So Little Rock would have
Alright.
something, So try to
Okay.
go with that, because there would be more probability that they would need somebody if it's a big,
Cool.
big city. Actually, in that list that I have, those are the biggest 10 cities. So if you didn't find one, then they have not published it, possibly, because in
Right.
most schools they would not get the letter of intent, which is like the letter that they have the teacher sign, are you coming back or not? They're not even due until, in some schools, until April or May. So they don't even know who are retiring. They don't know who are leaving them until they get the letter of intent returned. Okay, so that's why so you need to check again if you want to. And then schoolspring.com is a good one because it always changes every day. Same thing with these. When you check tomorrow, it might be different. And especially April 1st. By the time April 1st hit, if they had their deadline for the letter of intent to be in the end of March, then the first week of April, you should have a lot of openings being published. And so the sooner the better. Make sure you pay attention to when the deadline is of the application, because some of the things I saw, I'm like, oh, that's missed the deadline already. So make sure you pay attention to when the deadline is to apply, because sometimes it's still there, but it's already over. The deadline is already over. So pay attention to that. I don't want you to waste time when it's already over. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, ma'am.
question for
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
Question for me, Red. I like your name with an RH. You got creative.
Yeah. No, after the RH thing is just a nickname, but my whole name is Redimer Payed. Meaning I just put the H and then you just reverse it and stuff.
Well, I will
But
remember your
my whole
name.
name is
That's
Redimer.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Doc,
Yeah, Mike.
he is Ma'am Cathy's brother po.
Yeah, she's
Cathy
my
Nunag.
sister.
Yeah po.
Is one of you,
Catherine Nunag. So she's my sister. She's the
Yeah po. Ma'am Cathy.
Sir Mike's friend. Yeah.
Kathy? Okay, I've not heard her. Right? We've not heard her.
Yeah, Cathy, si Ma'am Cathy Nunag po.
Yeah, so we have not heard her. Okay, good to know. The Qatar folks that we have hired have been really good. So if you hear the word Qatar, Mike, they've been really good.
Yeah, my sister is there.
Vietnam.
My sister is
So
there.
those folks that have actually traveled in different states, it seems like you have a better chance of getting hired, because when I talked to the administrators, they said, well, they seem to be more knowledgeable and they seem to be more fluent, and they have experiences in teaching diverse kids, diverse students. So if you have not gone to abroad, make sure that you mention the word you have taught diverse kids. And I think some of you did that today, and that's good. That's always a good thing, because diversity doesn't just mean ethnicity. There's diversity in religion. There's diversity in the family composition. You got families that are together, have mom and dad, all that. In America, it's very common to have single mom and dad. That's a diversity. Okay, there's a differences in how we believe. We have so many diversity, that differences, differences in our culture. So don't ever just think of race as the diversity. It's a diversity of language. That's also a diversity. So diversity just means different. Okay. So I'm a diversity trainer, an inclusion and diversity trainer, and that just means the different beliefs. I actually do corporate training, like I did Coke executives in Atlanta, and that's just what I told them. I said, this is how, just everybody's different. Even the managers and the executives there, they differ. They have diversities, not just in ethnicity. So yeah, so that's good to remember.
Yeah.
Okay,
Doc,
so anyway, so next.
hello po, Doc. I just want to add po about yun sa diversity. One time I experienced, I went to one of the schools here in Arkansas, and then I've noticed po in the receptionist in the reception, yeah, there's a posting there that is in written in Arabic po, in yeah, and then I told them, hey ma'am, do you have Arab students here? And then they told me, yes, we have. How did you know that? Because I saw in your posting that there's an Arabic words there. Oh, good thing that you identify that. We don't know that.
Very good. And that always impresses me, Mike. Like you notice, I always notice those things. Like I'm impressed when schools have their translation in Spanish, because they have, like Springdale, for example, it's in Arkansas. There's so many Spanish students there. So they actually would, in their website even have some things, in Spanish. And so if you have Arabic students, it's good to see, to see that, the language there. In fact, when I was ESL coordinator at one of the schools I worked in, we always sent our letters in the language of the students. If there's Hispanics, Latino students, we always sent them for the parents. We sent them a Spanish speaking letter, or both English and Spanish, because you don't know, some of the kids are actually the only English speaker, and their adults at home are actually speaking their native tongue. So yeah, that's always a good thing. Mike, great observation there. So yeah, and usually that's a big school doing that too, and it's nice for smaller schools to do that as well. But yeah, okay. Next, do we have any more?
Yes po. We have Mom Lovely. Mom Lovely, yeah. Mom Lovely, and next is Sir Git.
Who?
Lovely, and then Sir Git. We have only two remaining teachers who will introduce themselves.
All right, got it.
Yeah, Lovely and Git.
God, Lovely. I think you're the fourth Lovely in this group. Common, and
yes.
I know two Lovelies myself. My friends that are lovely in Filipinos. But anyway, that must be a common Filipino name. Go ahead, Miss Lovely.
Hello, Doc. I'm Lovely Lynn Imbolode from Carcar City, Cebu. I'm really excited about the chance to apply for a job in elementary school teaching.
Okay.
Hello, Doc. I'm sorry. I can hear my own voice.
Usually, do you have two different devices? Like if you have a laptop and a phone, they usually.
No, only one.
I wonder why it's echoing though. I don't know.
It's okay now. It's okay
someone is speaking po. That's why she's thinking that she heard her voice po.
Oh, I see. Okay, just make sure to meet people, Mike. That
yes po. I'm doing it po. Yeah, po.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Okay, sorry about that. Elementary. So what grades have you taught?
I've been teaching ALS, Doc. ALS students for 5 years.
Okay.
And for the others to know, in case that they're not familiar about ALS, it is alternative learning education, or I mean alternative learning system, which is equivalent to GED in the US, or the general education development that offers a pathways for individuals who haven't completed formal schooling. They can earn equivalent credential. However, there are differences between GED and ALS. GED is a series of standardized tests, while ALS incorporate various learning modalities such as modulars, classes, and assessments. And additionally, JED primarily serves individuals seeking development equivalency diploma, while ALS caters a broader demographic, including out-of-school youth and adults, offering not only academic education, but also skills training and livelihood programs.
Okay. So here it's going to be called, Lovely, if you talk to administrators here, it's going to be called GED here. They don't say JED. They don't know that. So make sure you say GED. And the other one is alternative school. Is the ALS would be like an alternative school here. Okay. Just remember that. So they'll know. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And I have 5 years experience in teaching alternative learning system under Department of Education, Karkar City Division. And I also have a master's degree in administration, which I took in Cebu Technological University, Barili campus. And the reason why I want to teach in the US is that I believe in making sure that every students feel welcome and like that they can do great things. So from my time in ALS, I know how important it is to understand each student's needs. And I like to make learning fun by doing activities together and working as a team. I also want to help students believe in themselves and keep trying even when things are tough. And my goal is to help them learn and feel confident about themselves. And I think I can bring something special to the classrooms here and help make a difference. And for my educational philosophy, in my teaching, I believe in making sure every student feel welcome and like they can do great things. So from my experience in ALS, I know how important it is to understand each student's needs. And I like to make learning fun by doing activities together and working as a team. And I also want to help students believe in themselves and keep trying even when things are tough. And my goal is to help them love learning and feel confident about themselves.
Okay, you kind of repeated a lot, like sounds like a bunch of redundancy. So you may want to make sure you check your notes there that they don't repeat itself. You kind of repeated a few things. Okay, so when you start talking about your philosophy, you already mentioned it earlier before you even talk about philosophy. So you may want to take some of those words that you said earlier before you cover them in the philosophy. Okay, just kind of save you some time too, and also it just sounds redundant too. So you might want to avoid redundancy. And I love that you make it sound like you really want the kids to try, and even though it's tough, you want to challenge them, and those are really good things because it makes it sound like you're a very good motivator for students, and that's a good thing. You may want to include things like, what can you learn as a teacher? You keep saying about what you things that you can teach kids, but how about you as an educator? What are the personal and professional growth that you would want for yourself? Because for example, you're coming to a different culture. So what are the things that you may learn from the educational system here and the different culture, like food and dances and music, anything with culture? So what are the things that you would learn for yourself and grow as a teacher as well? So make sure you have those both things going, not just what you give, but also what you receive. Okay. So that's a very just a simple suggestion that I would like to do. And also look at me more. Look at the person that's interviewing you more. Instead of looking, you have really good notes there. And I saw you looking at your notes, but then you need to also, move your eyes up just to talk to me, to talk to the person you talk to. Other than that, you did great. Okay. You have really good things to say. You have some really good keywords that you use, and just make sure. And I love that you differentiated between the ALS, or the alternative learning, alternative school here versus the GED, or JED there. So make sure that you say those correctly, so that they would know what you're talking about, because they will not know JED at all. You have to say GED. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, you're gonna be okay. Okay, you're gonna be smooth about it, and you're gonna sound like you really are cheerleader for your students, and that's what we want is a teacher that's gonna be, you know, the number one, you know, cheerer for our students, and that sounds like that's how you come out to be, and you continue to do that. So cool. Okay. All right. Any question for
Doc.
me?
Thank you.
You have any question?
None so far, Doc.
Okay. Well, thank you again for coming. Okay. Next.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Okay, hello, Doc. Sir Mike is just having a quick shower.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you.
we will be having GIC this year.
Okay.
Apa.
Last two.
Hi, Dr. Merlina.
Well, hey, how are you? Did you say?
Well, my name is Jik. It's in magic. It's magic.
Magic for Jik. Yay. Okay. Cool.
Well, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for the effort in helping us teaching in the US aspirants. Thank you for the effort, Dr. Merlina.
Welcome.
Well, I am Jik Dishar. I am a licensed professional teacher in the Philippines, and I've been teaching for more than 22 years, including public and private schools. So I'm currently teaching in Maningkaw National High School here in Negros Oriental. And for the past 22 years, I've experienced, I've had the privilege of teaching various fields of subjects, including mathematics, my field, and biology, chemistry, physics, and even Chinese. I've experienced teaching Chinese.
Whoa.
I've once teach in the international school here in Negros, and I was given a task to teach Chinese, and I practice and I learned some of the numbers because my field is in mathematics. So I teach my students how to read and write Chinese numbers. And
Yeah,
I
those are the
completed my
those are the mahjong thing, right? The mahjong tiles. 1 to 9. Yeah.
Okay, and I completed my Master of Arts in Education major in mathematics in 2019, and prior to that, I completed my bachelor's degree in mathematics in Dumaguete at Negros Oriental State University. And for the past 24 years, I've honed my skills across varied fields, and I've skilled myself in photo editing and video editing, audio mixing, and all of this, I use this in my classroom settings. And all of this, I've learned this through personal training. I have not experienced seminars and trainings with this, but I've learned this through personal training, and I practiced this in years, and I could say I'm better in what I'm doing, and I could say I am better than those with computer backgrounds, I could say. And my teaching philosophy, I think every student has the potential to excel in mathematics. No, most students hate math, but I think they have this potential to excel. And my teaching philosophy centers around fostering a love for learning, building confidence, and making mathematics meaningful for them and enjoyable in the students' lives. That's all.
Okay. All right. You said quite a bit. That's cool. You have more than 20 years of experience. You can just say that. I have more than 20 years of experience. And I love that you thank me for my effort. That's what you should do also whenever you open for them for the interview. You said thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy, and thank you for giving me this time for this interview. I appreciate it. You know, so that's really good, grateful, thankful heart. That's always a good thing. And so you said you have taught math and science, but yet you have your degrees in math. Is that very common in the Philippines where you actually teach out of subjects?
Yeah, if you are in a public school, you can teach every subject, all subjects assigned to you.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
common in the Philippines.
Here it's pretty strict here. We are public schools, you know, in Arkansas, for example, but we cannot just teach out of our level. Like the school will get flagged, and
Yeah,
having
but in
flagged
the
for school
Philippines,
is a big
it's
deal.
common.
Yeah, it's a very big deal here that they check the teachers and what their, you know, what certifications they have. If they are teaching out of level, they have to teach praxis. They have to take praxis test, which is, you know, to get them to the level. Like my sister could only teach up to 6th grade in literacy, and she took the 4/8 content in order to teach, you know, junior high. She did not do it, but she was thinking she might, so she took it, and that's how it works here. Is if you're gonna have a, you know, to take another area, you're gonna have to take the praxis. And for those teachers that are elementary, I would recommend that you would say you are middle school. Elementary, you have to take all the subjects. You have to take the core, the math, literacy, social studies, science test. But if you're gonna say you are middle, in the middle level, then you only have to take one test. So so if you're not going to want to take 4 different praxis, you just say you're middle level. Mid-level means 4/8, starting in 4th grade. So unless you just really want to do your K3 part, I would say mid-level. And if they want you to go down, then you can just face that later. But for you to just get started, you know, for your practice, I would say mid-level. I think that's what I would have done for myself, because I started elementary and I got my certifications and all that, and more schooling for high school. Because here you cannot just like teach different area without the certification, without the education. So it's pretty strict here, and the school has to like do an waiver, some kind of 2-year or 1-year waiver, and to have this other paperwork saying that, you know, so many teachers are out of level or out of subject, you know, teaching. So it's a big deal, and lots of paperwork here. That's why schools do not want to mess with it. They really want to, you know, they really want to hire folks that are trained in that area. And for visa purposes, if you're going to be H-1B, which I'm pushing for the schools I'm helping, H-1B, so you'll be on green path, you know, path for green card here, and you can stay here and become a citizen. So you need to have, you need to be aligning your experience with your certification. So if you're elementary, your certification need to be elementary, and we're talking about that, just talk about the elementary, because that's really all that you can teach here. They're not going to hire you for high school if you have your elementary certification. And
I'm a high school teacher, Doc.
okay, then that's what you need to talk about. When you're applying, I want you to apply that's aligned to your certification, okay? So if you're gonna apply for elementary, you're gonna have problems because you don't have the credential for elementary, okay? So unless you did your master's in elementary, then that's different, you know. But if your certification and all your, you know, your credentials are all high school, you need to do high school. Otherwise, you will not be approved by the visa, you know, for H-1B. I had, you know, because they're really strict about that. The alignment of the experience with a credential, that's a biggie for the visa. So, okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. So, love that you said something about the potential to excel. That's a good one to say. You said something about you are good at photo, you're good at, you know, you're mixing and all these things that you do with technology. You can preface it by saying that, you know, that I really believe in the importance of the use of technology. For example, you know, for my personal time, I learned how to do this, whatever. But you may not want to say you're better than the ones with the computer background, because that's going to sound like you're bragging, and that might not be true. Because my son is computer science, and he went 4 years about, you know, taking those classes. So are you saying to me that his 4 years of all these classes in computer is going to be less than what a person can do on his own personal time? So it's kind of make it sound like you're, I don't know if it's going to be taken like an insult to a 4-year degree, you know, course, you know, here in America. I don't know, but that's just kind of, it sounded to me. So it's good that we, you know, we have that confidence, but at the same time, you know, you could just say things like maybe my friends say, or some of my colleagues
Yeah,
would.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, there you go. Say
I could
that.
do better. I could do
Say that.
better. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what they said.
Yes, Jake, that is way better than you saying that. You say my friends are saying that, I'm humbly hearing this, whatever. You say that, but not saying it yourself, especially if you're saying you're better than somebody with a computer degree, because that's a big thing. They had 4 years of it. And so anyway, but as a mother of someone who finished it, and when you could see him doing that, it would be kind of like not good for me to hear, like, okay, somebody just did personal time, and what were you doing in 4 years of doing this, son? My son is 25. But anyway, so that's just my perspective as a mother hearing that, but no big deal. You just use the word. My colleagues are saying.
Thank you for the tip, Miss.
Huh?
Thank you for the tip. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not trying to insult you. It's just that, it's this is your practice with me in a safe place that everybody's also learning from. And don't ever take it for everyone too. Don't ever take it like I'm insulting you, because that's never my intention. It's always going to be from the, from the heart of being positive and to help you be better. Okay. Because you already are good. You just need to be great. Okay. So that's what my always purpose is, that the folks that are even trying to attend our Zoom and talk to me, you already are good. You just need to sometimes be great. Okay. And so that's what we need to intend, because they're not going to just hire good. They will want somebody great, because the competition there is really, really high. There's a lot of people applying, especially for good schools that are really, really high, like an A school or a B school here. There's competition. Like where I live right now, if there's one opening, there's 200 applicants. That's how that I'm sure they're exaggerating, but maybe 20 anyway. So it's very competitive. So being good is not good enough. So being great is better, and you can do that by learning from others, right? Yeah, I don't have all the answers either. So okay, so good job, Jake. I love. Did you?
Thank you, Miss.
Is your real name really Magic, or just Jake really?
Jake, just Jake.
Jake. Okay, I did get your paperwork, I think. I remembered your
Thank you.
Yeah, I remembered your last name. Yeah. So
Dishar,
anyway.
that's Jake
All right,
Dishar.
so for me, huh? You know how, if you apply in Arkansas, do you know how much you're going to be making?
Pardon, ma'am?
If you apply in Arkansas, do you know how much you're going to be making for the year?
No idea.
Well, you were not here earlier then. It's about 3 million pesos for 9 months. So for the year. So it's like about 8 to 10 times more than the Philippines. So, so that's what's great, right? You're going to be a multi-millionaire when you're first year, but you have to remember you're also spending dollars. So,
Yeah.
It sounds good, but the folks like Mike and Art that's here, and I don't know who else is. Leslie here, Mike. The others that are.
I'm here, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
I was here from the very beginning, and I enjoyed listening to everybody.
Leslie, talk to you. Leslie, share with us about your spring break. This is Leslie's. Is this your second year in America class?
Yes, ma'am. This is my second year.
Tell me the difference of what you did last year in spring break and what you did this year.
Last year, it was really, really fun because I spent my spring break with you and Mom Bibi at Texas. Yeah,
Yes.
we were together last year.
Yeah.
And this time around, I spent it with my colleagues here in Helena. Sir Mike was somewhere else. He went to Florida.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we rented a cabin at, near Buffalo River.
Yeah. Isn't that
So
nice?
we
Buffalo River is nice, right?
It was
Beautiful.
the best. Exara. I was asking Exara what was the best part of the trip because we went to Blanchard Spring Caverns. It was my third time already, and I'm still, it was still amazing for me.
Yeah.
So I asked her what was the best part of our trip because we went to the cave, we went to the river, we also visited a waterfall near the cabin. And she said it was the cabin for me because the cabin that we rented, it was really super nice and it was really. So she was like, just staying in the cabin, it was really the best part for me, Ma. So we had a good time. I was with Jing and her family and with Sir Ernest and
very
Ma'am
nice of them to
Annalisa.
invite you, Les.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Jing. Yeah, it was Jing who invited us, and it was a good time to spend it with some friends. And yeah, that was
Cool.
it was a very cool experience. And I was already here. I think Sir Mike admitted me like 2 or 3 hours ago. Thank you, Sir Mike.
Okay.
But I listened. I was able to listen to everybody, our aspirants, the teacher
Yeah.
applicants, and I was amazed because
They're really
listening
good.
to them. I remember the first time I talked to you. I think I was your one of your first babies. Yeah,
First batch,
and
right?
first batch. There
Yeah.
when I attended your Zoom meeting, I think there were only like 4, 5, or 7 of us in the room, and
Now.
and I'm so amazed because the first time I talked to you, because I think everybody who introduced themselves, it was their first time. And I was like, oh my God, they're really amazing and they're very fluent. I wasn't like that when I
Yes, you
first
were.
started
Yes, you were,
the
Leslie.
Zoom, and I think I've come a long way because I would really say that the practice that I had with you, and we even, because there were like a few of us, so you were able to do a mock interview with everybody, and I've learned a lot of things. And I think while listening to them, I listed some of the things that I have learned through from your Zoom meetings that I've attended before, and I want to share it because I think this will be of great help, because I was interviewed for 2 schools and I got accepted in both schools because of these things that I've done through the help. These are from the Zoom meetings. Okay, this is what I've learned from Dr. Merlina, and I'm gonna share it to everybody. So things you are going to check your background. Check your background. If your background is messy, do something about it. Okay.
Look at her, it's
Because
perfect.
yeah, mine is perfect. I've learned it the hard way, because the first time I talked to Dr. Marina, I think I was in the bedroom and there were things behind me, and she was like,
Kamote.
Leslie, I think maybe it would be better if next time you would choose, a place that's not, the background is not really that messy. I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I took note of it. So the next time I talked to her, it was a little bit better. And so be professional looking, dress well, a while ago, when I attended a Zoom meeting, I was wearing my pajama. So I didn't show myself on the camera because I know I have to be professional looking. So I went inside, came back, and changed to something more presentable. So that's what you're gonna do.
Church clothes, yeah.
And then be on time, or as much as possible, be early. That's what I did. I was really early. I waited for them to come in. I waited for them to accept me to the we were using Google Meeting during that time. So I was really early and I waited for them to be there. And they were so happy that I was there already.
15, good time, 15,
Yeah,
20
15,
minutes.
yeah. And also check your internet connection, because that's always a problem in the Philippines. So if you don't have a very good internet connection, might as well, talk to some friends if they have good internet connection at home. You can, because I think my sister Girly tried that before, because she didn't have a very good internet connection at home. So she went to like one of our neighbors' house and talked to them and asked them if they could help her, and it did, it went great. And also just have a conversation. That's what Dr. Marina told me. Be as natural as possible. I mean, I know it's better to have, notes with you so you can look at it, and if in case you are confused, or you forgot what to say. But I think it would be a lot better to not look at your notes at all and just look at them in the eyes, because that's what I did. And it didn't like it took me really a long time to just let go of my notes and just talk to the person in front of me. I did it with a lot of practice. I would talk to my husband, and he would act as my interviewer.
He's the best husband.
He is. I mean, like, and I also looked at myself in the mirror every now and then, because that's what you told me, Leslie. You might have, because I think because there were only 7 or 5 of us, you had like a very a long time speaking to me, and I really learned a lot. So Dr. Orlina was like, Leslie, I think it would be better if you look at yourself in the mirror, if you are smiling or you're not frowning at all. So I practiced it the whole time, speaking in front of the mirror while smiling. So yeah, I did that. Also,
Smiles anyway.
give specific examples. I mean, you can always answer in a generic manner. Like you can say, I am a very passionate teacher, but say something about, give an example of how are you being passionate with your kids. Like, I think during my interview at Barton, I talked about my home visitations, like especially for the kids that are always tardy in my class or who is not present all the time. I would do home visitations, and because in the Philippines it's hard for us to have textbooks in the classrooms or reading materials in the classrooms, I would reproduce some reading materials, print it myself, and you would put it in my mini library, which I specifically created for the kids in my classroom, because we don't have library in our school because we are located in a remote area in our barangay. So I did that, and that was, and from there we were just talking about, so what are the things that you do for your kids? So yeah, it started from there. And also talk about the things that you do with your kids, the achievements that you have because of your kids. And do not, I've learned this from Dr. Merlina also, because the first time I talked to her, I wanna like impress Dr. Merlina. I wanna be as the best as possible because I wanna be hired. I wanna be in the US like right away. So I was like laying all my cards. But then I've learned the hard way too, like Dr. Leslie, I think it would be better if you talk more about the kids in your class, like what do you do with your kids in your classroom, than talking about all of your achievements. Because I was like, oh, Dr. Melina, I was awarded as like this and that, and I'm like, so Dr. Marlena was like, no, talk about the things that you do with your kids and not the things that you have achieved.
Les, it's okay to mention it, but
it's okay, but I think it was the way with words. Yeah. I didn't know how to use the words, like the humbling words that you would always teach me, because I think I started my career in education way back 2011, and I think I was one of the first one of the teachers that started the K-12 program. I would usually teach in Bisaya because I was a first grade teacher. I was a second grade teacher. No, first grade, second grade, and then I taught third grade. So the medium of instruction was Bisaya. So I didn't really use much of English in the classroom because of that. And it was hard for me to look for words that would make me sound like really humble at all. So what I did, of course, I attended Dr. Marina's Zoom meeting. And as I have always said, I think I've mentioned it to you, that it was a very exciting moment for me if you would like call me and talk to me, because that was my practice time with you. Yeah. And I think, from that, I've really come a long way. And also, ask meaningful questions. After the interview, I think because Dr. Merlina was like, be prepared for this, because I think principals or superintendents would ask you if you have some questions. Do not ask about your salary. How much are you getting from them? No, do not ask that. Okay, you are going to come up with meaningful questions, like if given a chance to be hired in your school, will there be PDs, professional developments, that things that you can provide for me as a new teacher coming from a different country? So that was, I think I answered that. I think I used that answer during my interview.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then what else? Yeah, I think that's it. And I think this is the best thing that I've learned from you. Have a very, very a great introduction. I think because first impression lasts. Yeah. So, if you have like a bad introduction, I think the interest, coming from the principal and the administrators would not be as much as as somebody who has given a very good introduction. I think it starts from there. I think first impression really matters. That's just for me, the things that I've learned from you. So I think that's it for now. Those are the things that I've remembered when I was like listening to the the teachers that were talking a while ago. But I'm just so proud because I think they're way, way, way much better than I am when I started. So congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, but Leslie, you have to know, everyone, Leslie is the epitome of humility. She is the most humble person. She's always so humble. She's very good. She was always fluent, but she thought she was not. She taught her daughter Ixora speaking English, which she was like a native speaker when she came. And but anyway, but yeah, you are the model for humility, Leslie, and gratefulness and
Thank you, ma'am.
thankfulness and so on. She's always so grateful about whatever little thing that you give her. She's always so great. And that's wonderful, that's wonderful to see. And that's always making me so proud to be a Filipino. That's, we're grateful. We feel blessed, that we are given this opportunity, but yet, we're very thankful. And I think that's a good thing. Thank you for sharing those good stuff, Les.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, I've learned, I know that, I've learned humility from my father. He would always like yeah, I think Girly would can tell about it too, because when we were younger, he would always say, it's being kind, being humble, that will take you really, really far. And by talking to you, because you would always, I think when we started the Zoom meeting, you would always talk about growth mindset during that time when I started my interview, because I was really focused on being hard, because that was my goal. So I know what growth mindset is, but this time around when I came to work with you, because you would always come into my classroom like every month, I I have learned the true meaning of what growth mindset is.
What is
And
it?
so yeah,
I want to put you on the spot and tell me what it is.
It's being humble. Like you do not take advices and like the things that you are telling me as like criticizing me at all. No, I don't take it that way. I take it as a learning experience, another learning experience for me, and a chance for me to grow as a person, as a teacher. And I think it's really effective, because the first time you saw me in my classroom, the first time you observed me, I listed 15 things to improve in my classroom. This time around, I would only get like one or two. And I think I'm doing great, because I've been listening. I have a growth mindset right now. So thank you so much for instilling that in me.
Thank you for being so good, though, to be so I think you're very detailed oriented, and you love kids, and it's very obvious. That is something that you really cannot be taught. It's all from your heart. Leslie, I love watching her in her classroom because she's so positive. She's always talking to the kids and kind of making them feel comfortable, asking them about their day, about their family, about their life, about their pets, anything like that I could tell as an observer that Leslie really knows her kids. She asks them different questions based on what she knows about the kids. And that's a very good gift, because knowledge of students is just as important as knowledge of content. So you have to know your kids in order to build that relationship, because that everything will just go right in a good flow. Whenever you know them, they're going to do anything for you, which means your classroom management is going to improve, right? So strategies, when you use any strategies, that's going to be very smooth, because they are ready. You have already formed that relationship with them.
Yes, ma'am.
That you have that positive. What is it they call it? The emotional deposit in.
Yes, ma'am.
Doing an emotional
That's it.
withdrawal, right? Yeah. So
Thank you so much, ma'am.
well, thank you so much, Les. I appreciate always that the things that you share are always so meaty. And I really appreciate it. Sometimes you find a lot of things that I forget. Growth mindset is a big one, by the way, for those that have not used it. Make sure it's about filter, about being positive, not being a Karen or a Marites. Here is Nancy, it's negative Nancy here. So not be any of those. You need to be positive. You don't talk bad about the Philippines, or about your school, or about your principal, or about your colleagues, or, well, I don't want to leave the Philippines because this is yucky here, whatever. I want to go to the US. No, never. Okay, that's a fixed mindset. That's like positive, negative thinker, and I would never hire that person. Okay, so be positive. You might have some things that you don't like, but that's not something that's the right time for now to be saying that, to be doing your laundry like that. This is for a positive moment, and showing that you value the process, and you value not just the result, but really the process. Whenever you're teaching kids, it's about they're not there yet, but you're expecting them to get there through processes that you help them with. And that is what growth mindset is. You're not perfect. You're learning from people, and you're competitive, but you're never like mean or you're negative about that other person and you're putting them down because I'm so good. That's usually a fixed mindset person. And so anyway, so just kind of think of it that way. I think it's common sense, just not to be a Karen or Marites. That's just need to remember that. And then you have growth mindset. Okay. And your favorite word is yet. You're not there yet. Okay. All right. So next, Les, thank you again. There's Art here. Mr. Art, I'm waiting. I was wanting to talk to you last time and you did not, you left, I think. Is Art still here or did he leave too? I think he may have gone to bed. About 9 people already gone to bed. So is Art still here? Or anybody that's already teaching in the US? I would love to know. I would love for you to speak for us. Speak to the applicants. Because
I guess Doc, we are only two here, Mom Leslie and I.
And you? Okay.
Yes po.
So Mike, you have not shared your spring break, Mike. You have to tell them about Florida, if you don't mind.
Yes po, Doc. Last year, I spent my first spring break in Las Vegas with my former colleagues in the Philippines. And then this year, with my family and Sir Edwin's family, we've been to Georgia and Orlando and then Miami. And that's my first time. Yeah, that's all. My family's first time to experience. Though we did not bought tickets in Disneyland and the Universal Studio, and that's what I told you a while ago that we will prepare for that. We need to save money for that. Yes.
But you have credit cards, Mike.
Oh no, Doc.
You're being responsible.
Yes po.
You're being responsible.
Yes, Doc. I just want to also, like Ma'am Leslie shared, I have my notes here. I think kita niyo. Ayan.
Yeah, go ahead. Share, please.
Yes po. This is what I've learned from you. Yeah, I agree on what Ma'am Leslie said, that it's not an accident that I joined this group, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I lost my job there in Qatar way back 2020, and then it's a blessing, yeah, blessing in disguise that I saw this group and I'm here now. That's like it's very quick. So first thing I learned is be honest. You remember, Doc? Yeah, be honest. That's one thing I will not forget is that when they ask me about, do you know what is idea? Honestly speaking, I don't have any idea about the IDEA, but I told them, yeah, I'm very much willing to learn or to study about it since I'm taking my master's degree in special education, and we have already discussed it because some of my classmates are here in the USA that they shared something about IDEA. That's why I have I got some only few ideas about that. And then if you don't know something, admit it. That's the best thing you should do, and take it as an and tell them you're, yeah, but like what I mentioned, that you are very willing to learn or study it. And then number two, Mom, is be natural and keep smiling. Keep smiling. That's
Yeah, Mike.
the best
Mike
way.
gets a job
Yeah.
because he has offered 2 jobs too, right, Mike? You had 2
Yes po,
jobs.
yes po, Doc. Yeah. He Marvel, with Marvel and Helena. And then because I agree, Doc, on what you have said a while ago, that it will show how positive or optimistic you are if you keep on smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Right.
you will keep on smiling, because they will feel that, hey, this teacher will bring a positive atmosphere to my to our students.
Yep.
And not only to the student, but also for the entire school.
Mhm.
And then talk to them like what you said, also talk to them like you are having a conversation with your friends. Be natural. I remember when I have my interview, the interviewers are keep on laughing. That's what I shared to you. It seems like I'm in the middle of the round table. It's like I'm on the hot seat. They
Uh-huh.
keep on asking me, what's this, what's that, how do you do this, how do you like that, and then be natural, be natural. And then relate your teaching experiences and extracurricular activities experiences to strengthen your qualifications, like what you said, Doc. And how it will benefits the school, the community, and the students.
Mhm.
Not only okay, I just want to teach there in the USA, but how? How are you going to teach a student? How you will be an asset to the school, not to brag whatever you have, what degree you have, or degrees what you have. For example, yeah, I have a doctorate degree, but if you cannot use it in the school, or if you don't know how to use it, it's useless. And then one thing I also remember is they will ask you about your discipline strategy. I shared to you, Doc, last time that what I answered is discipline with love.
I love that. I
Discipline.
love that phrase,
Yes,
Mike.
Doc.
With love and
Yeah,
deep,
and then
actually.
yes, and then I told them also, I shared to them that classroom should be an atmosphere that the classroom should have an atmosphere that is fear free. That's
Nice.
what I shared to them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, the Karen and Marites, they also asked me about that. How do you handle conflicts with your colleagues?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them. Talk to them and do not Karen or Marites them. I mentioned that the word Marites, and then they keep on laughing about it. It's Marites. Yeah, I told them I avoid gossiping about your colleagues. If there's something wrong with them, talk to them. That's what I've told them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they want to know if you can get along, if they're looking for collaboration and teamwork there, that kind of question. So good one, Mike. Yeah, because they always laugh about that because they did not know another country would have a negative Nancy. They would have Karen and Emeritus. They don't know that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, but see, Mike is always funny anyway, so he makes people laugh. So, if you have that gift, use it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And if you like quote them or you say things like as so and so as Miss Smith said, to add to what Miss Smith mentioned earlier, you can kind of validate other people's responses.
Yes, validation.
It's always a good thing, right, Mike? Yeah. Yeah. It
Agree
sounds
on
like
that.
Mike had done an awesome job with his last interview. Sounds like. It's so funny because
What?
you tell me
What
things.
dog? Yeah, that's the interview before.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
Ma'am
candidate would
Leslie.
share with me,
Ma'am
and
Leslie,
then the administrator would tell me as well. And so, it's so funny what their impression was and then what the applicants were saying. So I hear it from both sides, which is nice. I like it. So yeah, but see the thing is with like the West Memphis, I was actually in the interview. So I was able to form my opinion and thinking about, oh, you did a good job, and all of them did an amazing job. All 13 of them that got hired. So did awesome job. So that's why they're hired. They're coming here in the summer, I hope, if we ever get this LCA received. But anyway, all right. So anything else? Because we're about to close up. My husband always tells me the time. Today he really didn't. He got busy. He's usually like, hey, you've been in there for 3 hours. But anyway.
Yes. Doc, do we still have the West Memphis teachers later?
I guess we shouldn't though, and I will just say hi for a few minutes, but I think we're gonna talk a little bit about housing, but we will gonna go on until we get the LCA, and Mr. Kendrick said we'll talk to you about that after spring break because he is gonna be calling. I think he had already followed up with them to see what's going on. It's usually just 2 weeks. Why is it now more than a month or close to 2 months? And why are we not receiving it? So he thinks that there's something going on, like either it went to the wrong desk or something. So we're gonna find out, from the Department of Labor for the LCA, which is the step one. So it should not. I mean, remember, Mike, when we did it at your school, it did not take too long. Like within 10 days, we got it, right? 7 days, I think.
Yes,
yeah. But I don't know if it's because of the number. There's so many. You are only 5.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, four.
Four.
We are only 4.
Only 4 of you. So that
yeah,
was
and then I remember, Doc, you process it, I think August. Yeah, August. August, and then we started the petition in September, and then the result of the petition was released in October, and then that month was they are asking for the request for evidence or the RFE, and then we submitted or document no, it's Miss Mill submitted the needed documents or justification, and then our approved petition was a notice of approval was released December.
Yeah, so within
So
4 months,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
In 4 months.
Yes po. Yes po.
So what we're doing now is we should be, how we're doing it in your part, the 13 for West Memphis, we should be on the right track. That it's gonna be within by July. You should be here by July. So if you're applying for apartments already, you need at least 3 months anyway. So make sure you go ahead and apply on the ones that you like, because it's gonna you're gonna have a hard time if you wait till then. So 3 months before would be 7 minus 3 would be 4 April. By April, you should try to apply already. Okay.
Yes,
And
yesterday I went. Yes po. Yesterday I went to West Memphis in Barton apartment, and they gave me the email address here and then the calling cards. It's a nice apartment po doon sa Barton. Near I don't know. Near po dok sa pinuntahan nating hotel. What is that? It's near the Southland. Is
Yeah.
it Southland?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's near there po.
Okay. Hey, we'll just meet for like 5 or 10 minutes then with West
Yes
Memphis.
po. Yes
That way
po.
we can talk. Okay. Because I
Yes
was
po.
here
Yes po.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. Anyway, I was sick, so I did not want to show them my face when I was in my pajamas all day. But so anything else from anyone that would like, we still have about 39 people here. So if you really with the intention of wanting to talk, please do that now, because I don't want you to leave yourself hanging there and wanting to talk and we didn't get you. So make sure this is the opportunity to do that. Make sure you either raise your hand or put it on chat that you want to talk, because Mike and I'll be looking.
Yes po. I think someone told me a while ago that I think mom, who is this? Someone want to talk.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'll check in the
Go ahead and check.
who is
Because,
the yes po, yes po. It's
I think it
mom.
was Gian, but then she's not here na po.
Yeah, Gian, yeah.
oh, is it gone?
Opo.
Okay. So we did, looks like Russell is wanting to talk, but I've not talked to Russell. Is that number 3 there, Russell? Ian, Jennifer, Russell. We skipped that Russell, did we?
There was a note po from Sir Russell that is done na po.
Ah, okay. So there's no more. Okay, Joanne, do you have anything? I know, Joanne, you were asking about Lafayette, about Miss Mitchell.
Oh yeah, Miss. I've just heard it a while ago that she's still on spring break, so
Yeah.
I'll just wait for her after
Yeah.
the spring break.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I did mention you to her already. So yeah,
Thank
so
you.
it would not hurt though for you to go ahead and contact her as well, because she
Okay.
has a folder of the ones that contacted her. So you want to be in there. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
This is the elementary position, and I think this is perfect for Joanne. I think you'll be good. Even perimeter, but you don't have special ed, do you?
I don't have. I actually checked my son and I checked the area using YouTube, and it was like so rural. And I was like, oh, I love it there because it's going to be quiet. Maybe the kids are not going to be that bratty or naughty. So let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Cross fingers.
you'd be tough. You know, that's why I thought you'll be tough enough. But they want special ed just because they are in
Yeah.
a setting, special situation, special education. So
Okay.
anyway,
So
yeah.
still, are they still looking for grade 5 and 6 mathematics and science?
Yeah, I know Mitchell did, but I don't remember what perimeter did. I don't remember. I've slept since then. But you may
Okay then.
said.
Okay. We'll wait for the spring break to finish.
Yeah,
Happy spring break, everyone.
They don't have spring break, because remember they're staying home. They're staying in.
Oh.
So she's actually answering Miss Paulette is actually answering my email. So anyways, if you have a question, go ahead and send it to me. So because I will send it to her if you need me to.
Okay.
So
Thank
anyway,
you.
so for everyone else, we have 2 schools right now. One is needing a lot of special ed, 4 or 5, and then the other one is needing 4 or 5 elementary. So that will be 1st grade and to 6th grade. So if you're interested in that and you haven't emailed me, go ahead and email me, because I will go ahead and check. If you tell me when you attended Zoom, if you remember, I would be able to check my video to see where you are and what you look like. Because some of you who are not regular, like Joanne is a regular, Mike is a regular, and Giselle and Gurley, and the Memphis 13, they're regulars here. And so anyway, so I don't
But Merlina, I have seen Gian already. She popped out.
yeah, go ahead.
So maybe we can give her a chance.
Yeah. Yes.
Gianna Landau, please. Okay. She's still not turning on her video and
So she's not.
Miss-
Okay. Well,
yeah.
we had we're about to say bye-bye, but before I go, I would like for everyone that's here, because there's still the 40 now. I want to teach you about the 5 core propositions, and I think between Mike and everybody else that's here, they can help me. Okay, Joanne, you want to touch on the first core proposition of National Board? Everybody should know,
Okay.
because if you answer it on your interview, if you remember the 5 core propositions, that's like a little
Okay.
checklist for you to include those. Okay, go ahead, Joanne.
Okay.
What is core proposition?
There are actually 5 core propositions of teaching. These are the followings: knowledge of students. We also have knowledge of content and pedagogy. We also have knowledge of assessment, then reflection and collaboration. Let me work with the first one. This is about knowledge of the students. This is actually one of the important things that we have to know. Because once we have idea of the background of every students that we have in our classroom, there will be no problem when it comes to our discipline, because we can tailor our lessons, our lesson plans, and our activities. So differentiation is going to be very effective once you know your students. That's how important the knowledge of students is.
Very good, very good, awesome job. And how do you do that? Do you either you by the door, you're standing there and
Yeah.
say something, talk to them?
I did that for this school year. I do have different ways. We do have hugs, we have wave, we have thumbs up. We even have the fist style.
It's
So we've been doing that. Yeah, we've been doing that since the first time.
Good job.
Opening of the school, opening of the school until now, we're working on it. And then another way on how you're going to be knowing your students is that when you start your first day in school, you give them like an activity about all about myself, because that one will also give you an idea of what are the things that the children will be will like and will not like at all, so you can adjust from that area.
And actually, Joanne, I extend mine to whole month. It's a whole month unit on All About Me. So we do poetry on All About Me. We do, we do a lot about families. We do a lot. So my prompt and things that we do in journals are about families. Talk about your family. What's your future family look like in 10 years or 20 years from now? What do you think your family would be looking like in the future? Draw your future home. Things like so. All about the kids. I want to know what they're thinking. What's your goal? What do you want to do in life? Those are things I want to know the first month of school. And that's when you establish your rules, your routines, your procedures, and getting to know the kids. Because once you have that strong month or 5 weeks of knowing your kids, then you would not have any problem of getting to the number 2, the second core proposition, which is knowledge of content, knowledge of what you're teaching. Okay. And by the way, for the knowledge of students, you also need to attend ball games and attend extracurricular things. I have even attended somebody's baptism. I've even attended somebody's like hearing when the mother lost the child and had to go to an adoptive parent, adopted parents. So the child invited me to attend it, and so I did. So anything like that the child will it's very special when a child would actually invite you to something, and so
Will the home visitation be on the student knowledge of students, right? Like what Miss Leslie has been mentioning. Okay.
That's right. So that
Thank you.
number 2 would be knowledge of content. So Leslie or somebody here, Giselle or Gurley, tell me about what you know about knowledge of content. The strategies. Those are some things that we need to remember to use with our kids.
I think I'm gonna give the floor to Gurley. The others to be able to speak at Giselle and Gurley. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Leslie or Gurley?
Gurley, can you answer that question? I think she can. I trust
you can.
I'm not being biased, but she's my sister, so
it's okay though. You can save her.
Go, girly. You got this.
Someone that nearly got 100 on TOEFL should be able to get this, no?
Girly, can you unmute yourself?
Early, yeah, unmute.
All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Okay. Good evening to all the teachers here in the Philippines, and good morning to Dr. Merlina, Ate Leslie, and Sir Mike. Good morning. Uh, as for the knowledge of content, I guess after knowing the students, you just have to come very much prepared in in preparing your lesson. Like it's the strategies, it's the technique on how you are going to teach the subject or the lesson to your students. And it's about the differentiated activities and the varied activities that you are going to give them. Of course, you just have to deal with all those things. Those are really about the content, and you just have to relate it to the I mean the real life situation. It should be connected, or it should be integrated to the real life situation of the student. There must be a connection with your lesson to their life also, so that they will have, or they will really get the value of the lesson. That's for me. That's for me, because I usually ended my class with, what have you learned, or how will you apply it in the day, in your day-to-day living, or those things like that. Oh my God, you're putting me.
No, 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 no.
I don't
You
know
are
if
doing
I
you're
don't know
doing
if,
an A plus job, girl. You're doing an A plus job. Yeah. So what are your favorite strategies that you use in your classroom? Like I told you, mine would be the 10-2 strategies, and then some TWES, think, write, pair, share, or TPS, think, pair, share. Those are some strategies I like. In gallery walk, I like those, or fishbowl, where you have two circles, and the circle in the middle are the ones that everybody else in the big circles watching and listening, so that's a fishbowl method. And so what do you have any strategy that you could share that you like, girly?
here in the Philippines, Doc, I'm actually handling right now grade 5 students. And for me, because my students are actually the regular students, because we have section 1, and we have the students who have the average grade from 75 to 80, and they are actually the students who are, they have low grades. So what I did is, I have to find out those students who are good, or who are doing great in the class, because there are really like students who will just, I consider them as, those, what's the term, I forgot the term, but those students who are not really doing well during their grade 4 years, but they are doing well in my class into grade 5. And then I would make them a leader. For example, if I have a group, I usually give them group activities, so that, say for example, I have this reporting for my English lesson, then I would assign, like, this 5 students will be the leaders, of course, because they have this advanced learning in my lesson. And then I would let the remaining students group themselves, and then give them the leader, then select one reporter, and select a secretary. But all of them should be able to write everything that the secretary would write on the Manila paper, or on the cartolina, which will be posted in our classroom, because we don't have television in the class in our classroom here. We are just using those cartolina and pentel pens, because we don't have the resources. But I would always choose to let the students write their output in a bond paper, so that everybody will have the participation, because I believe that if I will not let them write the output, not everybody will be participating, or others will just be a distraction. So everybody will be busy about doing the things, because they need to listen to what the leader would be telling. And I would tell the leader also to listen to the members. And of course, in my class, Doc, I always wanted the leader to really handle the members. Like, I always give them instruction to, like, uh for instance, you should know when your members are really becoming a distraction to other groups. Then you should be responsible with the members, and you should also facilitate the learning of everybody. You should be able to listen to what is good and what is not good, and then let everybody speak their minds, so that everybody will learn. And my way of letting them participate is just to write everything down, the things that they need to have
in order for them to have their personal learning in the group activity. That's it, Doc. And I also do those things like I would do lecture. I would do lecture and I would always give them time to ask questions, share their thoughts. I would always do that. And I am very particular with discipline. I don't know if it will work out in the US, but I am very particular with routines. I am very particular with I always tell them that the classroom is made for, having classes. There are times when you have to speak, really we need to have an interaction, but I would always set boundaries for my students as to when are you gonna do this, when are you gonna do that, and they would always have their routine on how to pass their papers, how to exchange the papers, like embrace your paper so that it will not be unruly, so they need to embrace their papers and then pass it to the other person beside them and then embrace it again, so that I could never see such things like my classroom will be messy. But I let them enjoy the class. If they have to enjoy, then you have to laugh, you have to do everything that you wanted to do, but it's according to what is actually going on with the lesson. So it must be it must be an appropriate action. So intellectual noise is intellectual noise, but in times that we need to really listen to me or you need to listen to your classmate, then you should not do anything else. I hope that I have answered.
You did good. You did a very good detailed job, and I love that. You may not want to use the embrace the paper in high school in West Memphis because that's not going to work. They're going to think, are you treating us like elementary? So don't do that. Just say, I'm going to count to 5. You won, this one, the next person, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5, it should be already in the front or it should be in the back, whatever you want to do. But do not do the embracing thing. That would work with elementary, but not in high school. They're gonna think they're being treated like kids. So I know that because they accused me of stuff like that before. Like, Dr. McCullough, we're not in elementary anymore. So I said, yeah, you're just like elementary with bigger pants. That's all. So yeah, you did a very good job of sharing the different strategies, cooperative learning strategy you shared, where you're giving roles to the, having students to actually, for example, you've appointed the leader. You can also have kids to appoint their own leader, because that's also a conversation that they can have, and then always have a job of a material manager, somebody that would get the materials out. Cartolina here is actually poster board is what they call it. Okay, so poster board and markers or whatever. And so if you're organized enough in your classroom where you organize those materials and you tell your student this is where we get our materials, then they know, nobody's going to be running towards it. You're going to know that if you have 4 different groups, you're going to have an organizer, like a box full of materials for the each group. I actually, in order for efficiency, I actually put the 4 seats together and I put the material right in the middle. So, and that's enough for 4 people. So if I need something, they just go get it in that material in the front and they will just return it, and it's always going to be closed and organized. Okay, so I'll have sticky notes there. I would have like markers there. I would have extra pencils there, index cards there, some tape. I would have that, those materials that I know we use all the time. I put that there, pair of scissors for everybody, 4 different little scissors. And so anyway, so glue stick, I would have that there because those are really easy organization and it's always going to be making it smooth. So the less standing that they have to do, the better. I have, we have teachers that would say, okay, go get your stuff. Oh my gosh, everybody, 20 people, so many get up at the same time. Allergic to that. You have to say, row 1, it's your turn to go. Row 4, you were very quiet. So I'm going to let you go first and get your journal. Okay. And row 2, whatever. And I do the same whenever they're lining up, so and so you row 3, you were so quiet and you really did your job and you were on time and all this and no problems. So I'm going to let you go line up first. They want to be lining up first for lunch because they're hungry. So, and if somebody misbehaves and start talking in the front of the line, I put them in the back. Okay, move in the back. That's not, that's rule number 2 that you had not followed, whatever. But so Girlie, I don't think you'll have any problems with discipline. Just remember not to do things like you are extra controlling, because in the Philippines, we're very authoritative. We really are the boss in the classroom. In America, they really want you to kind of make them feel like they have a choice in your classroom, that they are also, they're thinkers too. You're not the only one thinking, also them, so that's why giving them choices and having them to decide as a class, having them to vote or anything like that, or having them, I even have them do like, okay, you want the same job, I want you to do rock, paper, scissors, or whatever other ways that you can, you can solve this, and as much as possible, have them to solve their own problem. And yet, and you alluded to this about the noise, you can do sound level noises like zero, level zero, that everybody should be quiet. So all I have to do is put this zero, that means zip, everybody should be quiet because we are on level zero. Okay, level one, you're actually whispering to somebody. Okay, and two would be actually like talking, regular talk. And then three would be when you're presenting, you have to make this big voice because you're presenting. So now you're on three. Okay, so whenever they're going in a class, for example, elementary, they should be on zero, level zero, while we are walking towards the library or wherever it is that we're going to take you. Okay, and the high school should know better, whenever they're discussing or whatever. And timer, use an alert, like time alert. Okay guys, we have 5 minutes to do this activity. Do you have two minute warning? I always did that. When you do that, it's always a good practice, especially your ADD kids that cannot focus. If you give them time somehow, it focuses them. I have so many kids that cannot focus. I'm like, okay, I have this special timer for you. I want you to time yourself to do this activity. How many minutes do you think it will take you to do this? Oh, I think I can do this in 1 minute. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's your super challenge to do that. And so they would try to meet their own challenge, especially if they got to name their own time. Sometimes they say, oh, I think I did not give myself enough time. And I'm like, okay, well, you need another minute. So I always feel like I'm giving you choices. It's actually a controlled choice, but you're giving them choices in their mind. The teacher is treating me like an adult, like they feel like they should be treated like young adults. And that's what you should, in America, that's what they expect. Because if they have a very bossy teacher that would not ever give them freedom and would always just boss them around or scream at them or being mean to them and control everything that in the classroom, you're not going to be liked, and they're going to do everything in order to make yourself get mad. So me, I just joke with my kids. I'm like, did that sound nice to you? Did that sound rude? It sounded rude to me. What do you think? I would say things like that to them, and they know that I'm serious. I don't really want you to be rude, but anyway, but I make it into a question. That's the clue. If you make it a question, it sounds more not as bossy, not as pushy, because you're actually making it into a question, like you're having them think, what do you think of this? But you really know the answer already, but you just want to, make it in that format. So you made a lot of things about struggling learners, differentiation piece would do that. So you can either differentiate the product or you can differentiate the process even. Okay, sometimes you may have to shorten, especially you have to look at the modification. Of course, you have some 504 kids, which is like the kids that are not special ed, but they have special modification. Usually it's because, like they have some medical problems, for example, and they're not in special ed, but they have 504 plan, which is like accommodation that you have to do for them. Read that. And if they have to have like modified number of problems, if they have others have 10, you may give them 5 or 6 or 7, whatever. So those are things that you have to follow. Make sure you know those. And I did say something about the think pair share. Oh, do not underestimate the power of having kids work with each other, because they actually, according to research, it's actually more effective for a child to teach another child. They actually learn more from each other than from us. Okay, because they speak each other's language. And so anytime that you have that opportunity to have them work together, that's very good. Do not frustrate children by having your gifted kids, they call them GP here, and your special ed, that's really far away, a distance. That's frustrated because cannot understand the GT kid. The GT kid will be frustrated because why is this kid not understanding me? So not good. So put them in a little bit closer in academic ability, not to extremes. Just remember that, okay? And then of course, when you do lecture, try to use your 10-2 strategy. Do not talk more than 10 minutes without processing with the kids. And I love the way, Girly, that you do that you ask them for the opinion. Lecture, I have a teacher that I was coaching that she's very good about having their journal right there with them. And if she wants them to reflect, she would just say, okay, take your journal out. I'm going to give you 1 minute or 2 minutes, to think about what I just said, and I want you to write it down, and then she asked them to share. One or two, doesn't have to be all of them, but she knows they're thinking, and she has them to do note taking. In America, some kids just do not take notes. In my class, whatever I taught everything except 10th and 12th. They always took notes. They have to have notes, because if it's not written down, it did not happen. Okay, so that's your evidence of your thinking, because note taking or writing is your thinking on paper. And I want to see you think on paper, so that we can go back. And I've done like open notes, so that to encourage them to like take notes, because she might give us a pop quiz and it's open notes. So if you don't have any notes, sorry, you're being lazy, you're getting punished, because the pop quiz included open notes. So my kids were always like, yeah, I'm gonna take notes, whatever. And I encourage them to not just take notes of what the teacher said, but actually think about what you're thinking, in there, not just what I thought. And so having like having different pens, they love gel pens, by the way. And so this little pens, like, maybe I regular blue pen for what the teacher said, and maybe my thinking will be another pen. That's a good one. And then whenever they're editing their paper, if they're writing on pencil, and then you're gonna edit with a friend, you're gonna do one color for you and another color for the peer, for your partner, so that you know exactly whose kid did what. Okay, so that I always put a legend in the bottom, like so and so, this this pen is so and so, and this other pen is so and so. So I know who are partners, because what I do is that if they're writing and they have 10 minutes or 15 minutes to write, there's always somebody that's going to be an early finisher, which means you're going to have a plan for them. How I do it is like the first two people finish, your partners. Go over there to the center, to the learning station, to the comfortable sofa or whatever I have there, the bean bags. And I want you to partner up and talk about the writing, because in my rubric, I also have the self, peer, and then teacher. So they have to have the comment for each one, for the rubric. They have to check it off. And so anyway, so that's what I do. That number 3 and number 4 finish, they're partners over there. Before they give it to me, they have to have the self column and the peer column and then me column before they turn it into me. So they have 2 opportunities to fix things. Okay. And I even, like in my high school kids, I even told them about using paperrater.com. Paper and then RATER, rater.com. They can copy and paste it to the paper rater, which is free. And they actually will be graded and also being shown what are the things that are wrong, with some suggestions. I have them to do that, and I have them to share what does the paper rater say about this paper, and then after you fix it, what did the paper rater say about this paper? So then I want to see whenever you get done, because I even use paper rater for my college kids. I teach masters and specialist level. I use paper rater just to see what are the common mistakes that they see, because that's not a very big point, like 2 or 3 points out of the 100. I don't give very much on that, but it still need to be addressed, right? So in your classroom, the meat should matter more than the conventions or the grammar. But yeah, do that. Choices, peer support, reciprocal teaching. Reciprocal teaching is when you have the kids actually teach for you, especially your gifted kids. They know the stuff already. You can tell they're like, oh my God, I already know this. I said, okay, I want to sit in your seat. You're going to be the teacher now. Okay. Do you want to be a teacher? You would always ask them, do you want to be a teacher? Who wants to be a teacher today? Who's going to be my assistant today, or my sub today? I'm going to be the invisible person right here in your seat and listening to you. But then, so they would actually be like pretending to be a teacher and teaching the stuff. And that's called reciprocal teaching, because you actually change roles with the student. They think that's funny. They think it's cute. Some of them just like, oh, I don't want to do that. But then don't force them. Don't ever force students. Give them a choice. Like, okay, you don't want to do it. Do you want to pick a friend to do it for you? On some friend like, oh, don't pick me. But I said, pick the ones that are volunteering. This is a volunteer, not a voluntold. And Girly, you mentioned about real life and real life connection, that the relevance, that is a big key to it. Anything that you do in your classroom should matter to the kids, and you should tell them why. So when you start with your lessons, and okay, today we're these objectives of the lesson is this, and this is important because you know what, when you go to college, or when you go to the supermarket and you're going to buy this is how you know about percentage, because it might be on sale and you want to know how, to find out how much for sale it is. You need to know that. So in math, so in science, you want to know about life cycle, because and you tell them why, because the so what part of our brain, if the brain knows about the so what part, then the brain will say, okay, remember this. So instead of putting them in a short-term retention, it will go to the long-term retention, because the brain sees the connection, because our brain learns from connection and patterns. So if it doesn't see a pattern, like, oh, I don't know, it doesn't connect to anything, so boom, delete, because it's on the short-term retention. Okay, it's going to delete and be replaced with something else. But if you really made it meaningful and connected to whatever they've learned already or to life, then they're going to keep it. Okay, so that is, and the third one is assessment. That's when you learn about before, during, and after. You actually assess KWL, know what I know, what I want to learn, and what I've learned. Those are really good stuff to do before. And then during, so what are the things that you ask during? And writing those questions down ahead of time, sticky notes or whatever. I stick it on my teacher book or whatever. I put it there so I can plan what I'm going to be what I'm going to be asking, because you should ask questions that are why and how, not what. I am like, oh my gosh, some teachers, especially social studies teachers, sometimes they would just ask about the dates. I mean, it's nice to know about the date, but what? I mean, why? How? You need to explain more rather than just, okay, when did the Underground Railroad, in the 1850s, what's the relevance of it? Why? What's going on at that time? So what's the context of it? So it's not just like, knowing about the year. Like, for example, I Googled that, oh, so if the $10 there at that time, it's actually, 50 times or 30 times, you kind of put it in the context of the kids so they understand. So that's the relevance to real life. And so I did that, cooperative learning, reciprocal teaching, peer support, peer teaching, technology. Okay, I mentioned technology under knowledge of kind of, because whatever you're doing should include technology. I had my kids learn about, my own kid, Jet and Stephanie, learn about PowerPoint and how to do PowerPoint on their kindergarten or before kindergarten. We went on a trip somewhere, Washington, D.C. or something. And so they took a lot of pictures and I said, hey, do you want to show that to your class? You want to put it together in a PowerPoint? What's that PowerPoint? And I'm like, okay, let me show you. And so I did that. And so Jet, by the time he was like first grade, second grade, he was doing PowerPoint all over the place. And so the rule of that is about, I think, 3 or 4 PowerPoint slides for kindergarten, for example, because they have the title page and then maybe 2 or 3. And then after that, you just increase it by how many you think, so by the time they get 6th grade, they could even do 10, 12, or even more. I challenge my gifted and talented kids when they do their book report to do more, because I have a list of things that they need to have it there in the book report. They have the title, you have all the story elements, the setting and the problem and so on. The characters might have more than one slide, and whatever, and the theme and what did you learn, all this, connection stuff. So they have those, and then put them extra things like, what kind of star rating would you do if you're writing a review on Amazon for this book? How many stars would you give it? Or you're writing a comment on Yelp, how many stars would you give it? So kind of bring it back again to real life. Okay. And then the 2 cents worth and the talking stick is the last part of it that I want to share. It's about whenever you have kids in the group that just, oh my God, they cannot, everybody wants to talk. Nobody wants to take turns. So I have done like a cup, and I have 2 cents, which is like a penny, here it's brown. So 2 cents. So if you get your 2 cents worth, that's us saying here, that means you got your opinion in. So what I did literally is to have 2 cents for each child. And when you have done your opinion already, you drop it in the middle. Okay, so if you have spent your 2 cents, that means you need to listen to everybody else. You have already gotten your 2 cents in. So you need to help everybody get their 2 cents, in before you go again. Okay, because you have people that would like to take over. Okay, so be careful of those. And that's it. And then after that, the last 2 will be your reflection. Reflect about what went well with the lesson, what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be retaught, all that. And then the last one will be collaboration. That means that in your lesson, you should have collaboration. Collaboration means you could be bringing speakers in, that relates to your topic. And my example is when I did electricity unit in my science unit, I brought my husband who's electrical engineer. So we talked about, electricity, and even brought some like testing things, how to do the current. He brought some things there to show the kids. And then my electricity, the electric company employee, I had them to come in and talk about how to save money on electricity and all this. Yeah, I brought in real life things like that in order. So those are your collaboration pieces. You have a collaboration also when you do your project, for example. I have monthly projects. So we always have a, like a little project board there that they would have collaboration with other students to come in and listen to them, or they would, I will give them 2 pennies for each child that come in, and then they have to vote on the best project. So whoever collects the most pennies is the winner. So you cannot really, there's no cheating on it. They're like really a vote from each of the people that came in, and they would deposit their 1 or 2 pennies that they have, to whatever project they thought informed them the most. Because these kids have to like talk about whatever, oh, this is about what, and this, my sculpture that I have in here is, I did a model of my project, which is this, and in the country that I did this map, and this is, so they would be talking and actually teaching them. And my suggestion to the audience is like, whoever taught you the most needs to get your penny or 2 pennies, whatever it is that I gave you. They may have 2 people they could choose. So those are some things you could do, and that's why the meat of it. And so in order for you to really have the strategies and the meat to it, you have to know your kids. How would you know what strategy would work if you do not know your kids? So those 2 are really important, okay? So knowledge of student, knowledge of content, assessment, and then reflection and collaboration. If you have those 5 things, whenever you're talking to anyone about education, especially on your interview, you got it made, because you're just gonna have this little checklist in your head. Yeah, I don't know if any of those folks that have interviewed, did you ever think about core propositions? Anybody? Especially the Memphis 13. Did you think about 5 core proposition at all whenever you were interviewed? No, the first 6 I think actually was asked
Yes,
questions.
Doc.
Yeah, girl, Giselle, what did you think?
Yes, Doc.
You were?
I was thinking, I was thinking of it. That's why, if you have remembered the interview we have with Sir Kendrick about, I think that was, what did you do? What was your the second question one, Doc? I think I've used that with the example that I have.
Good. So you did use it. And that's what I want you to know, is that not just for interview in your classroom right now, also. Okay. So this Zoom is not just for coming here to teach your interview. It's really for you to use as educators. Okay. And if you have anything at all that you want to share, do it, because we're about to close up. So that's what's my closing is then in that core proposition. Any last words? Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much, Doc.
Yeah,
I really learned a lot from you, and I look forward to learn more from you, Doc.
Oh, thank you. I learned from you guys too. I love the strategies you're using in your classroom, girly. I can't
Doc
wait.
Merlina,
Yes,
I
Joanne.
just would like to add, I remember when I was still in Indonesia, we are working on an IB curriculum program. The KWL style, we have added something there. We have the KW HL. Know, what do you want to know? And then how will you?
Yes.
That's the H. How will you? So there's an application. And also, now I think they have another version of that they are going to be adding a new questions. After learning all those things, have you formulated another question?
That's good.
So
Yeah.
that
Love
will
that.
be leading us to another lesson. So
Yeah.
that's the updated KWLH.
Yeah. There's a lot of combination on it. I think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really
Okay.
cool. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
It is good. Yeah. For anticipation chart is also another one where you give them 5 or 10 questions about the topic, true or false, and then then they're gonna correct it at the end, because a lot of time they have misconception or they don't know, and then at the end you give the same test again, and then they will correct their misconception. And so anyway, So, or I would give it back to them and say, okay, I want you to correct it because you missed 3 only. So try to see if you can fix it now that you've got the lesson. So that would be a good reflection as well. That's a good strategy, is anticipation chart. And of course I mentioned gallery walk. All right, that's what I have. And so I can't wait to see you when 30. So that would be the 7th of April. No, 6th of April. 6th of April. April 6th will be our next one. Oh, that's the weekend that we have lots of company, because that's the weekend when there is what was it, Daddy? Huh? What's going on in the first part of April? Eclipse. The eclipse. Yeah. Is it solar or once in a lifetime event? Solar or lunar? Solar eclipse. Solar eclipse. 100% total. 100%. Yeah, total eclipse, and it's centered in Arkansas. Right there where I am, we're 20 minutes from like one of the centers. So it's like really people, we are expecting 1 to 2 million people coming to Arkansas first week of April, because they are going to be looking at the eclipse where it's completely dark, covered, the sun. How does that work, Daddy? The sun is covered, the sun in the middle is being covered by the shadow of the moon gets between the earth and the sun, and we get in the shadow of the moon. Okay, so the moon is between the sun and the earth, and then we get the shadow of the moon. That's what my engineer husband said. Okay, so I'm sure our science teacher can explain that. About every 2 or 300 years. Every 2 to 300 years it happens. So we have that first week of April. I think we can still do it though, because I know Jet has company, but they're next door in the guest house. So we can still do it. April 6th will be our next one. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let you go. Memphis 13, we're gonna talk for 5-10 minutes. Okay.
Thank you, Doc. Bye.
Okay, bye guys.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Ah,
Doc.
already not-
Bye.
Thank you, Doc.
people that
Thank you,
stayed.
Doc.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Doc.
Bye.
Thank you po. God
I will
bless.
send my email.
Bye, Christina. Okay. And Candela,
Yes, po.
bye. Yeah. Sorry, Ricard, you okay? So we have 30, 29. Okay, people are leaving. Thank you so much for attending. And I will post the video on YouTube and Facebook. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. And I will see the Memphis 13 in a few minutes. Here. Ricane.
Yes, Doc. I will send again my updated resume, Doc.
All right. Well, thank you, Ricane. You have been awesome.
Yes.
Nothing though. So thank you.
Yeah. But for clarification, Doc, again, I can apply both elementary and secondary because I have 2 bachelors.
Perfect. How about your experience? Do you have experience in both?
Yes, I have. I have 10 years in secondary and 23 years in the elementary
Oh,
because
awesome.
I
You're
thought
one of those really unique people.
because I thought night high school as an English teacher. So right after my class in elementary, I should have to go up and do the teaching in the high school.
Yeah, that'll be make you very flexible. That's cool. All right. So we still have 18, 17 people. Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I think I don't want to end it, but I'm going to stop the recording. Stop the recording because there's still, I think this is it. This is us. Stop the